All right, welcome to the 2017 Air Wipp Challenge pre-show. I'm your host, Frosty Fresh, here with my man.
I'm here, Sean Wood.
Yeah, and we are live right now in beautiful Helsingborg, Sweden. You can't really see because we're actually inside the biggest arena in the sport of freerunning right now. So thankful to be here. Big thanks to Samsung for making this all possible, and the city of Helsingborg, and of course Air Wipp that puts on this incredible event every single year. Sean, you were actually here last year for the event. What can you say in comparison to what you're seeing right now outside on the course?
Well, all I know is that the hype is real.
Oh.
And I mean, the course in general has had a huge improvement this year. They've definitely made it a lot wider and a lot more versatile for all the athletes. So I'm just super excited to see. I mean, we had the qualifiers yesterday, the women's comp and the kids comp, and some crazy stuff was thrown down. So hype is real.
Yeah, those qualifiers were absolutely insane. You can see it is going off in this stadium right now. It's absolutely packed. They almost sold out this entire area. They got fire going on. Philip is down there tearing it up and getting the crowd pumped. I'm sure all of you guys at home are getting excited too. We've got the live feed of everything, all the chat going on. So if you guys like what you see, make sure you comment below and let us know what you think, because we're trying to make this event everything that you want. I mean, hey, let's be real. We're here for you guys at home. This is what it's all about.
It's so crazy because yesterday, you know, all the venue lights were on, and it was sort of also I don't know, the lights have just come on out of nowhere, and it started to make me a bit nervous for everyone. It's such a different vibe here than 24 hours ago, you know?
Definitely, especially those flamethrowers. They make a little bit of a difference. So talking about the qualifiers and everything that we saw yesterday, some insane athletes absolutely throwing down. You had a chance to talk with our host, Anwar, about some things that went down.
Yeah, we had a chat this afternoon and recorded a little video, a pre-roll for you guys to watch now with Anand's thoughts of who's going to go through and some updates on the course and some of his expert knowledge from someone who's been around and judged so many of these competitions.
Definitely a worthwhile insight. I think if we can go to that video now, it'd be great for you guys that missed it yesterday.
So the competitive scene has come such a long way over the last 5 years. It's such a great thing to see, but I thought there was always a little bit more room for more of an analytical side to these competitions, giving everyone at home more of an inside track of what's going on behind the scenes before the comps actually take place. It's great to watch, but now I want to give you guys a bit more information about what to expect, how the courses affect the athletes, and even give a few predictions. So let's get right into it. First, let's start with the course. Now, there's been two main changes that I can see that the Air Wipp Challenge has made to their course this year, and that is it's much longer and wider than it was last year, which has allowed them to construct a center island, which really changes it up for all those guys who have strong parkour influences in their competitive style. The guys like Jesse Peveril and Robbie Griffith, who can abuse the length of a course and really rack up technical points by traversing the course back and forth. This is much better for those athletes. Last year, the course only had 2 high platforms in the corner, which means all these athletes were getting funneled down into the midsection. And if you didn't have a high variety of tricks that you can spam down the bottom, you were pretty much pigeonholed into just doing one line down and finishing your run. Now that's not the case. Alex Schauer, Robbie Griffith, Jesse Peveril, Dominic Di Tommaso, these guys can traverse a course, eat up a lot of space, so they're going to get a big buff in their performances because of the added center pieces on this course. Also, another big change to this competition setup is that the bar setup is excellent this year. Last year the competition they only had one real bar setup that they can use, and that really limited a lot of the athletes who had lots of tricks and technical skills on bars that they couldn't show the judges. Now, all those athletes, we're talking about Nate Weston, Alex Shower, these guys who couldn't show those skills last year, they're getting a big advantage in this year's course. There's a lot for them to do. They can traverse the bars at the back, they can come out towards the front of the stage, even crisscrossing on the middle section. There's so much more that the bars provide for those athletes, so they're getting a big buff. Now, because of those two changes to the course, the athletes have more options in terms of lines that they can construct for the competition. Last year, because there was only 2 high platforms, everyone was funneled into the middle of the stage, and they could decide to go back up, but it was really difficult for them to do that without their performance and execution suffering. Now they have more options. They can cross the stage, across the back, across the middle. They can shoot out from the bar sections into the lower platforms. There's going to be way more lines constructed from these athletes this year, so that's going to be way more exciting to watch. The last thing about the course I'm going to say is that it's a wooden course. This makes it much more forgiving compared to some of the concrete outdoor setups that we've seen, which means that the guys who have a lot more risk-reward choices are going to get a little bit of leeway in their sloppy landings. I'm talking about the people who do high-level tricks like Kaylin Chan, Kiria, Jeff Greedo, these guys who have big-ticket single moves that if they try them outdoors, it was a bit of a harsh punishment if they were off by a little. Now on this course where they can bounce back and continue their run, cover up some of the sloppy hard landings a little bit better, they're going to get a little advantage when putting together their runs. All this talk about the course, what does this mean for the athletes? Well, first up, some insider information. DK, Christian Kowalewski, and Dominic DiTommaso are all nursing minor injuries. Now, they're great athletes, but at this level, even that tiny little play on your mental game, that might throw you off enough to really knock you down a few pegs. So I'm thinking only Joey Adrien is in a strong position to defend his first place title from last year. With all that in mind, if I had to make a prediction about who I thought was going to do well in this year's competition, I would have to say, judging by what I said about the course, their competition history and consistency, as well as the momentum they got coming into this event, I'm going to pick Alex Shower and Nate Weston as my athletes to keep an eye on. If I needed a wild card, I'm definitely going to give a shout out to Renko and Kaylin Chan, just because they can throw down so hard, and on a wood course like this, they're definitely going to go for those big lines, and if they pull it off, they can clinch that top spot. But those are my 4 picks. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to tune in to the live feed later on. Wipp 2017 going off tonight, guys. We'll see you there.
All right, some words of wisdom from an expert analyst, Anna and Anwar, with some great top picks. Sean, do you agree with what he had to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, Alex is definitely going to be up there. He's been performing so well in all the competitions. Definitely one of my favorites to take the win. But based on warm-ups and my favorite run from yesterday, Joe Scranget is just in such good form. If you follow him on Instagram or anything, you can see that guy is just out training all the time.
Yeah, and so creative. He definitely brings some of the most unique movements in the course.
I think yesterday's performance for him was the best performance I've ever seen in him in a competition. And I think this course really favors some of his style of movement as well. There's all the sort of layers throughout the course, and then an amazing bar setup, which we haven't seen in Whipp before. Usually there's not a strong bar setup, but we've got the higher and the lower bar setup this year, which is an athlete like Joe Scranget. I just hope he can pull it together. You talked to him before the competition, and he's sort of so chill about the whole thing, and does his warm-ups, and then he sits down and warms up, but he has unlimited potential. He's for me who I'm rooting for first place.
Well, talking about those bars, we know, especially from seeing the incredible run he put together for the qualifiers, Nate Weston is definitely going to be taking advantage of the additional setup here.
Nate is also someone that, I mean, I also had a quick chat to him before the competition, and if he makes it through to the second round, we're going to be seeing some very, very crazy moves come down from him. One in particular that I want to mention because let's see if he makes it through. But if he goes for it, then I think it's going to be one of those, like, it's going to blow people's mind. It's unbelievable. Something that Anand did also brief on there, a few of the athletes are sporting some injuries at the moment. Dom, from that massive front flip he did in London a couple of weeks ago, has some bruised heels. But speaking to him, he's super confident. Dom is not shy to competition and really stands up to the occasion almost every time. So he's someone, I mean, it's just such a stacked lineup, you know. I mean, you see that flyaway straight to backflip off the wall from Eric. It's unbelievable. It would be really stupid to say that I know who's going to win because anything can happen in a competition like this.
Yeah, especially with so many wild cards. You know, we've got Alexander Tito, Renko, this year's Red Bull Art of Motion champion, a complete unknown coming into the biggest competition around, and now he's one of the favorites to do well, dominated in the qualifiers, but he's still relatively unseen to the competitive world. So I definitely expect big things from him and another American, Kaylin Chan. His qualifier was probably one of the best I've ever seen him perform.
Yeah, he is on super form as well. Also, just so unpredictable as well. You see him setting up some stuff in warm-ups that actually turn into these crazy tricks. You know, he doesn't throw everything down in his warm-ups. You know, he's out of the box. He comes and he throws down these moves that you haven't seen. Half the time, you can't even name the tricks that he throws down.
And that's what you want to see from these when judges are really looking into creativity as such a big part of their score. They want to see athletes either doing moves that other people can't or wouldn't do, or using the course in a way that nobody else has thought of.
Yeah.
But let us know below in the comments who you think is going to be making it through to the finals, and if you've got an idea for a winner, let us know, because I honestly could not tell you right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, DK is also rocking a little bit of an injury. He got, I saw something on Instagram a couple of days. He was doing some little plyos, running around with a camera in his hand, and fell on his face, and he's actually got a sprained wrist. So he top 3'd last year, but he's not in super good form. But once again, speaking to him, he still thinks that he can take the podium.
Yeah, he told me he only has one move using his hands in his first run.
It's interesting because he does a lot of his wall tricks with quite hand intensive, so it'll be interesting to see how he changes his style based on that injury on his hand as well.
But as an experienced competitor, I think he's going to be able to play to his strengths and figure out things that work. He's actually been really pushing a lot of the variety in his training. He told me this is the first year his breakdancing crew actually just qualified for Battle of the Year.
That is insane.
Yeah, so a man of many talents.
He really likes to diversify, getting into the dancing, the breakdancing. Amazing free runner. There's something else he chucks in there sometimes. He gets
skateboarding.
He gets into the skateboarding as well.
I know he's been working out with some of the calisthenics guys, trying to beef up a little bit. Yeah. But you know, that's the thing. You know, when social media takes another person trying to film a little stride line through a park and you fall down.
So we're a minute 30 from going live. The arena is starting to fill up here as well. There's been so much hype around town here for this event. And the latest that I did hear is that the event is actually sold out.
Yeah, I saw they filled out the entire main viewing area and the VIP section, so they are just start filling out some of the side areas as well, which is great. They have the support of the arena and the whole city trying to really bring it together. And I think based on what we saw yesterday in the youth competition, Sweden showed up strong, just absolutely throwing down, and it just shows how much the community here really shows up for this event.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You know, this Air Whip Challenge has been going on now for quite a few years, and it's become this really cool thing in Helsingborg. You know, we used to do it out, back when I was competing, we used to do it out on the castle in the middle of town. And you can walk around town and have a talk to people, and everyone seems to know about free running and know about Marcus and Philip and Air Whip. It's so cool that there's such an awesome community involvement down here.
Well, I think they did a good job not only of creating a really cool event that a lot of athletes from around the world want to go to, but they created access for young kids and for families to want to get involved with the academy.
And it's really showing with the beasts that are coming out. That youth competition yesterday was
without
insane.
a doubt. All right, and here it is, the countdown. It's about to go off.
10 seconds. Air Whip Challenge 2017. Let's do this.
Yes.
Okay, Vilken energi! Rör på axlarna! Woo! Underbart! Välkomna till Wipp Challenge 2017 Powered by Samsung Gear. Är ni redo? Helt underbart! Låt mig presentera the host, the man, the myth, the legend, hela vägen från Thailand, Mr. Anwar!
สวัสดีครับอนันต์ดีใจมากที่ได้มาร่วมกันสนุกกับทุกคนวันในงานวันนี้ครับนะแต่ต้องวันนี้นะครับมีเพื่อนสนิทแน่นๆเลยมาเป็นโคโฮสต์ในงานวันนี้คุณฟิลิปยุงเบิร์ก
Han är kanske lite nervös om han pratar engelska, va? Do you speak English, Annan? Do you speak English?
Oh, a little bit.
All right, cool. Välkomna till årets event. Filip Ljungberg heter jag och jag är en av grundarna till det här fantastiska evenemanget tillsammans med andra parter då. Vi ska köra igång alldeles strax. En väldigt viktig sak vi måste testa, det är en liten applådträning. Och det är bara så att vi kan ställa in ljudet så det är helt korrekt. Det fungerar som här. Ni ska alla just nu göra en liten golfapplåd. Ja, låter ganska bra. Så bra, okej, tryck. Vi tar upp volymen lite mer. Vi klappar lite hårdare, se om vi kan få igång det. Mycket bra, mycket bra. Låter som en tennismatch, men vi är ju på ett parkourvärldsmästerskap. Så jag tycker vi fyller våra lungor med luft och så ger vi allt vad vi har. 1, 2, 3! Fantastiskt. Och när vi ändå är på tal om hög volym, så för de som tycker att det är lite väl högt så finns det öronproppar här ute till vänster. Och när vi pratar om gångar så har vi då nödutgångar som är här nere som är markerat. Ni som sitter på de här terrasserna har nödutgångar där uppe. Ni går alltså inte ner utan då följer ni vid en eventuell nödsituation. Ni som håller på med parkour, ni klarar er nu själva, hittar er egen väg. Så, lite tider för ikväll. Vi kör igång nu som sagt. Klockan 8:10 kommer vi ha en paus på 30 minuter och 21:30 är det avslut. Där ute finner ni olika tillfredsställelser som att köpa popcorn. Det kan vara lite läsk och så vidare. Och handla gärna lite av våra kläder tillsammans med de andra teamen. Annan, so for the first time, like there's so many new people here that haven't seen parkour before. How does this competition work?
I'm glad you asked, Philip. Well, today you have the great pleasure of watching 18 of the most talented freerunners the world has ever seen. And that's only a little bit exaggerated. Some of the things they can do are absolutely astounding. These 18 athletes have up to 1 minute to show the judges what skills they have on this course. Now, from that first round of 18 runs, we will select 6 finalists to enter the next round. Behind you, you have world-class, experienced judges to help us out today. At the back, on the left, we have, from the United States, Mr. Gabe Nunez, Team Tempest, judging difficulty. Next to him is the very handsome Nico Wilczek from Austria, judging flow. Equally handsome is Kai Willis from the United Kingdom, judging our athletes on execution. And finally, the most adorable Marcus Gustafsson from Sweden, judging creativity. Those 4 judges have a tough job ahead of them, but it's definitely going to be a great show no matter what.
Och detta vore ju då inte möjligt om vi inte hade haft partners. Så därför vill vi verkligen passa på att tacka Helsingborgs stad, Samsung Gear, våra andra partners som Bravida, Sydställningar, Darom, Bra Flyg, Börjessons bil, V Hotell, Tech for Event och lite design på det med Jakob Alexander och Wallén Media. Jag tycker vi ger dem en stor varm applåd. Men om ni tror att jag har stått här och snickrat i 78 år så har ni fel. Det krävs ett crew. Och de har ställt upp i vått och torrt. De har varit här 7 på morgonen, inte gnällt överhuvudtaget. Ni har fantastiska människor som står och möter vid ingångarna. Det är våra volontärer, det är våra eventkoordinator. Jag tycker vi ger dem en stor rungande applåd. So, Annan, what do you think the athletes are feeling right now?
Well, I had a good look at them earlier on. Some of them are very excited. Some of them a little nervous. A couple of them are asleep, actually. I think hopefully they would have been warming up by now. But I think it's better that they tell you themselves exactly how they're feeling.
Let's show them a video.
Joe.
Oh, I'm Joe Scandra.
Hi, my name is Alexander Titarenko. I am no speak English. И мои друзья говорят, что я дурак, но я думаю, не ошибаться.
Yeah, action.
Hi, I'm Kevin. Wait, let me do that again. Yo, what's up? I'm Joey Adrien. Stoked to be here at Wipp 2017. It's gonna be legendary. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Jeff.
What's up, guys? I'm Jesse LaFlair from Tempest Freerunning. I'm surrounded by all of the athletes that I watch on Instagram while I'm in bed naked.
What do I do? Like this?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Chan. It's my first time here at Wipp. Representing WFPF. It's pretty awesome. I'm Kieran from Russia.
Shout out to Jennifer. Are you filming already?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex Shower. Parkour for life. One more. Yeah!
Sick, man.
I'm Robert Griffith. I'm representing Team Mortis. That's not Team, the Mortis. I'll do it again.
Yo, my name is Nate Weston. This is my first time in Sweden for the Air Wipp Challenge, and it's gonna be a banger.
Alright, my name is Dimitris Kirsanidis, and I hope I'll make it happen. We'll see.
Are you filming already?
Yeah. Action!
Hey, people. My name is Jesse Pablo, and I also represent XDY.
I've got Dom's Tomatoes. Welcome to the Air Wipp Challenge, where we whip the air with our body and we challenge ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, that's like...
Yes, perfect slogan. Nailed it. Out. We're done.
Woo! As you can see, these athletes are better walkers than talkers. So let's just give them a chance to show you exactly what they got. Let's bring out our first athlete, Mr. Nate Weston.
All right, it's kicking off with a banger. American Nate Weston, one of the favorites coming into this event. He's been crushing it at competitions, going back and forth with a little friendly rivalry with Joey Adrien. But I think that this could be his year here at AWC.
Yeah, he had an incredible qualifier run with one of the lache to precision onto the bar in a super dangerous part of the course. He's been taking best trick at almost every comp that he's competed in. This guy is an absolute beast. He had a strong showing in NAPC. He dominated in China. I mean,
I think one of the things that's really cool about Nate is he's able to take his flatland skills as well and make them into more than just a tumbling pass. Even though he is tumbling, he's really creative with how he uses it, and he transitions in and out of amazing free running moves with those skill sets.
He's definitely a solid all-around athlete, but he always has something unique and usually new to bring to the bars as well.
Yeah, well, you see him chalking his hands up and starting on top of the bars. Got a feeling we're going to see some amazing precision here up on top of the highest bar.
Yeah. The suspense is real.
Yeah, you can see it on his face.
I had to talk to him earlier on, and if he gets through, he's got a crazy second run planned as well.
Well, I've got a feeling we're going to see it. Nice side pre on that rail.
Stomped.
180 out. Yeah, so much power. Clean pimp flip down. Yeah, already going from one set of bars down to the other. Oh, flyaway half regrab. That's so tough. Ooh.
Super high difficulty in that run. Unfortunately, the execution points are going to be a little bit lost at the end. Hopefully, the judges weren't looking, because I want to see that second run.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, athletes like Nate really enjoy having a lot of moves in their bag of tricks, and I know that he saved a lot for that second run. I hope that that fall is not going to take away too much, because I definitely want to see more. But look, you get in a replay on that amazing precision on that side flip. I mean, we're talking about a rail it's just 2 inches wide, and then look, he seamlessly transitions into that 180, and then coming over here for this second pre onto the rail, using those bars just like we expected, making it just look so easy, as I literally just copied what Anan said. But it's part of Nate's style to make these really high level difficulty moves look so simple. And then unfortunately, his last move, a really weird stalled out Jonah late twist, and it just doesn't work out for him at the end. Yeah, great run from Nate. Although, again, like we said, it was a little bit short. So I hope that one slip up isn't going to cost him too much, because the less moves you put in there, the harder they're going to be. The harder they're going to be grading each of those.
We have an absolute packed out arena here today, and second up we have Mr. Jesse LaFleur. Oh, the man with the flames on his ankles, your teammate.
Yeah, you know, and Jesse just came off of a long string of jobs. He was just working for a couple months in Canada on the new X-Men film, where he's doubling Nightcrawler, and then went straight to the new Team Ninja Warrior. So he has just been pounding it out in competition and in performance and films. So he's
definitely, I mean, he is now the oldest competitor in the competition, but that does not hold him back at all.
No.
He's definitely also one of the smartest competitors. You know, I did have a talk to him earlier on today, and he said that he wants to bring some new tricks, some stuff that no one's seen before.
Yeah, well, he's a great strategist. He's really known for putting together lines really well and making the most out of his unique bag of tricks. So if he does even half of the moves that I saw him planning and testing out, I think he's going to have a killer run that's definitely going to make it into the finals. I think you just have to make sure when you're trying out new things, some of this stuff he's never even brought outside.
Yeah, as I said, he's just such a smart competitor. He's got a lot of competitive experience now. He has really good line construction. He always uses the course to its full potential. I mean, you looked at the Art of Motion a few years back when he did his Lunar Eclipse, the now infamous Lunar Eclipse. Like, no one else had thought of even doing any of that type of movement, but he really goes in and practices on the course, and then comes up with such unique stuff based on each course.
And I love his use of the old school techie parkour style and integrating that into really fluid free running movement.
Yeah. He was super confident. I think he's going to throw out some really unique stuff. So here we go.
Yeah, Mr. LaFleur. He's always got good song choice.
Yeah.
Very important, very important. Getting yourself hyped and the judges and crowd. Nice rush in front to start things off. A little knee slide into that back full.
Ooh, looks like he's struggling a little bit with the climb.
Yeah, didn't get his landing quite in the right place. But come full off the bar. Waffle. Looks like he knows that he's already lost that flow score, so he's just going to take his time and try to hit everything that he wants here.
Oh, setting up for something difficult here.
Whoa! Oh, that ping pump back. Oh my God, that is the first time he's ever done that not onto the foam pit.
Wow, that was incredible. Incredible. Executed so well as well.
So I think it's clear he forgot about the flow score after he slipped up on that bar, and he just went for execution.
He had some tricks in mind, wanted to throw down, bring something new to the competition. As you said, once he hesitated after that first swing and looked like he went into the mode of just smashing those couple of tricks that he wanted to get down.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm so glad they're giving us another angle on this move because you can see he takes off using only his pop off his
Where
legs.
is he getting the power from?
Literally just from that snap of standing up off the bar, and then he's floating for a fraction of a second and popping through. I mean, there's not even a name for that yet. Here, Annan might be asking right now.
There we go, as we're
First
saying.
time ever doing that to something hard, and I'm pretty sure no one in the world has ever done that, so.
I'm pretty sure no one has flown that far for one trick.
Thank you guys for all your support.
He looks super stoked with his run, and he should be.
He absolutely should be. Well-deserved. I mean, he told me, like he said in that interview, that was the one thing he really wanted to hit. And, you know, the same thing.
Do you think that hesitation before might have been nerves about from what he knew was coming?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the other moves we saw before that are all things we've seen him hit in the past really cleanly. You know, he's been known for those slides and the kumquats of the bar. And I think,
in the back of his head, he was only thinking about that move.
But it's so awesome that you're seeing even these like experienced competitors still pushing themselves to continue to find new ways to innovate. And you know, he did that. We'll see what the judges have to say about that, the execution. Obviously, going to lose some points on his flow, but you know, when you're throwing down sick tricks like that, who cares?
That was amazing from Jesse. But moving on to the next competitor, we have Masa.
Oh, yes, Masahito, one of the most terrifying runs from the qualifiers, put out some just insanely surprising moves. The way he did that walking gainer, I had no idea what was going down.
Absolutely unknown. I'd not seen much from this guy before this, and I mean, the Kong gainer right at the end of his run as well.
That is the most delayed Kong gainer I think I've ever seen.
I saw him warming up today as well. He's just super solid. He was doing flyaway double gainers with absolute perfect precision.
Yeah, and it's cool because he has all of the sort of standard high-level moves locked in, those double flies and Kong gainers, but he's also got this really unique skill set that he can mix in with those moves that ups the level of creativity so much, and then he's got the level of difficulty with those really hard big tricks. So I think we can see a really, really great score from him. I think it's going to come down to that connectivity and line strategy. But we're getting some love on the feeds saying they believe in Masa and thinking he's going to destroy it. Let us know what you think and what you think of the runs you've seen so far. All right. Got to be setting up for some flat land up here on the top, stage right. Backhand swing through gainer, that caster off the side, but doesn't quite land it clean. I know that's disappointing, but there's that cart. 540 dive roll. We saw him hit super smooth in the qualies. Nice stalled out swing cast back.
Oh, so clean.
Yep. Go coming around. Again, probably giving up on that flow score now that he knows he's biffed a couple spots. He's going to focus on sticking these last tricks. Ooh, toe giant gainer. Really clean too.
I do feel like this is where we're going to see the difference in experience. I mean, he looked super nervous just then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally different stage presence than he had yesterday in the qualifiers. There was a lot less people here yesterday, and you could just tell how nervous he was just then, and unfortunately didn't execute all his tricks as he would have planned.
Yeah, but the ones he did were really nice. Look at him coming through and just getting so much power, but that landing quite low, but he's able to pull it through really nice and carry it through down to the bottom.
So happy. Yeah, so happy, yeah.
Oh, he's speechless. That's how good that was.
Rocking that Bolts 101 shirt there. Super awesome brand out of Japan.
Yeah, our only Japanese competitor in the main event, but definitely representing for the home country.
Really cool to see another Japanese guy coming through. Zen, unfortunately, couldn't make it over this year. And
yeah, he's got a little injury from a show he was doing, one of the True Hope shows. We do an awesome charity event in California every year. Now he's been out there. He was throwing down and unfortunately twisted his ankle on a double full.
We are seeing some of the sort of next-gen athletes come out of some of these countries, you know, where there's been a solid athlete for many years, and now you're getting the next generation come through. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, they're clearly inspiring the people around him. And another inspirational athlete, last year's third-place finisher from Poland, Colette Ski. Now, Christian, as you may have seen in the pre-show, is suffering from a little injury, a couple little tweaks here and there. You can see the bandage on his wrist and hand right now. He actually had to drop out of the Art of Motion the day before the event due to a tweak he had. You can see he's got the wrapped ankle as well.
He is the king of the bars. He has some amazing work up there. He did have to pull out of the Art of Motion. Let's just hope that this injury doesn't affect him too much. He's still here. He's still going to put on a show.
Yeah, I think when you're such a strong competitor, you know how to put things together that are going to work. Look at that stalled out dive roll.
Connecting those moves beautifully.
Yeah, using that waterfall setup to make his way down with a bunch of well-connected tricks. Coming onto his favorite bars right here in the center stage. Nice. Pop up to that, calling down. Yes. Well, I think the look on his face says it all.
He's super happy with that run. He didn't stop moving.
No, not the entire time. I don't think he really had much of a slip up anywhere. Love to see replay on that couple of those last bar moves because it was really clean. Just catching his breath right now. He goes, see that nice re-grab there and going straight into that muscle up. Good giant.
Feet to the bars.
And that's the thing, too. Even if he had little slower parts or tweaks up at the top, he was able to finish in a really comfortable area for him and land everything in that last. That's got to be one of the hardest things to do is finishing a run. Your adrenaline's still pumping, heart's beating, can't catch your breath, and trying to give an interview.
I mean, he's incredibly happy, and he should be. What an amazing run.
I think the judges are definitely going to score well on that one. He combined all of the different categories really well, especially looking at that execution, difficulty, and flow. Maybe a little bit light on the creativity, but that's really hard when you're surrounded by so many unique creative athletes. Your Nate Westons, Kaylin Chans.
Up next, we have Eric.
Yes, an athlete who is creative in his own way, basically in doing things that no one imagines could even be possible. Eric is the one person who will go for it.
I am so happy to see him in the final of this competition. He's someone that, you know, his style of movement doesn't always favor him for the competitions. We all know that he belongs in these finals, but he just doesn't always get the flow points up, and it's something he's been working on over the last year or two. And he is in such good form at the moment. That flyaway gainer straight to the wall, punch out back. Absolutely incredible in the qualifiers. He has some amazing things ready for this run.
Oh, that's gargoyle gainer full. Great landing, popping up.
So much power.
Nice, coming around to that.
Definitely.
Bounce back off of that palm spin. Giant off the bar, all the way to that super high lache cat.
Something that Alex Shora did yesterday. It's almost like he's done that just to prove that he can do it as well, you know?
Oh, let's see.
He's going back up the course.
Nice. Little flash cast back. Just to add one more move into the run. Now, I actually wonder, Eric's flow was not perfect, but it was pretty good, but he came down to the bottom and then stopped and walked back up for that last move, which is a difficult move, but not nearly as difficult as the rest of his run. Do you think it's actually worth it for him to throw in that last trick?
I think with how many moves he had pounded through, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, look at that gargoyle gainer full. Just
when you think about the showmanship of a competition like this, you're really wanting to leave at an absolute high, you know, and breaking it up, breaking those flow points up to going back up to something that didn't add much to his run might actually, not work in his favor.
But this middle bar section, he had that cast inward and then the the giant straight into that flyway, and a huge worm back off the wall coming right into that wall flare.
You can never quite tell by the look on Eric's face if he's happy with his run, but
good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when you get into the next round, that's not going to be too much of a problem. Oh, that's definitely vicious.
It wasn't a problem now, so should be fine.
If anyone can power through, I think it'll be you. I think that gives you a good chance in the finals. Best of luck to you, man. Eric, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Eric showing off some of his recent scars from his last Ninja Warrior appearance where he got rope burns that literally ripped the flesh off of his hands and fingers. But an absolute monster, making it all the way through, and even getting some love on the live chat, not only from his fans, but his #1 fan, Miss Katie McDonald, who's supposed to be here, but of course, working on another cool project and couldn't make it out. But much love to you, Katie, and hopefully we'll see you here next year.
Well, here we have another fellow Aussie.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you take it away then. You've had the most experience with Mr. Tomato.
That is indeed correct. Dominic Di Tommaso, definitely a crowd pleaser, always comes out, puts a smile on people's faces, and always has one crazy trick at least in his bag that blows people's minds. I always get a little bit nervous before Dom's runs because the level of risk in some of his runs is absolutely incredible.
Well, I know in some of the competitions we've seen him go for some amazing flip prees, just like that onto the rail. Not as clean as Nate Weston's, but still showing a lot of control. Devil drop off of the bar, come back, worm back off that same spot we saw Eric hit it. And good vibes in this song. Yes.
As we did mention earlier, he is rocking some heel injuries at the moment, so he may be in a little bit pain, but that's something that he never seems to show at all.
Yeah, he always keeps a smile on his face. Nice Barani down.
Super clean run from him so far.
Yeah, stomping those landings. The only thing I might say is that it does take a little bit away from your flow if you're not connecting. Dom's got to make sure he bails at least once in his run, just to keep the tradition going.
Exactly. In his early professional career, he was having a few slip-ups here and there, but he's getting very consistent over time. And that, I think that's the best run I've ever seen from him.
In terms of cleanliness, yeah, he really just nailed everything, and a smart competitor now, knowing, hey, he doesn't have to stick that rail pre. As long as he lands it clean, he can vault right out of it and keep that momentum going.
Yeah, he's a guy, I mean, if you follow him on Instagram, he's just out there training every day.
Every day, and he's pushing it every single day. And I think, he's got those really strong moves. Here, let's hear what he's got to say.
Good course, good times.
No matter how you score, you definitely had the most fun out there so far. Dominic Di Tommaso, ladies and gentlemen.
Stor varm applåd.
Yeah, Dom's one of those guys who's got a really specific bag of tricks, and he just knows how to use them. Those 360 dive rolls, the big solid fronts.
His skills aren't naturally the best for competition, but he manages to work a run out of the skill set that he has, and he always performs well.
Yeah, it's a different kind of creativity. It's about where you're placing things, about how you're using them, how you're connecting them. And another athlete that has a very specific set of skills that he likes to put in place, Alex Schauer. Looking forward to seeing some really great, clean parkour movements from him. What can we be expecting for highlights from Alex?
He was dominating the bars yesterday, doing that huge swing lâché up to the high wall, which Eric just did. But yeah, he's just such an all-round athlete and so strong as well. Also an athlete that likes to have fun with his music choice.
Nice. Using those bars again. Let's see if he comes. Oh, faking it out. Switching into. Nice. Lachey right into that punch inward. Oh.
Unfortunately.
And he's going to call it.
Looks very disappointed there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have been setting up for that big Lachey cat again. Maybe he tried to do something different because Eric has just done it in his run. Yeah. But yeah, it didn't quite work out the way he wanted.
I mean, Alex is someone that does such a high difficulty level of movement, but makes it look so small. So
Yeah, even just the height he had on that punch inward out of the lache.
Sometimes some of these athletes making it look too easy doesn't work in their advantage, you know?
Definitely.
I guess for sure.
Damn right. Ladies,
All right.
gentlemen, Alex
So
Shower.
Alex looking longingly back at the course at the movements he didn't get a chance to hit. So a lot of love for Alex Shower. Not his best run we've ever seen, but definitely some great movements. Not sure it's going to be enough to hold up to some of the competitors we have coming up next to make it into that finals round, but he should not be feeling bad about that run. All right, another California competitor coming up next. One of my favorite athletes to see train, Jeff Greedo. This kid is full of power in a tiny little package, but he packs it in and he uses it to his advantage. Competition has been, I think, a little bit tricky for him to find how to apply his style, because I wouldn't want to say it's a sloppy style, but it's very steezy.
Yeah, and he's getting a bit of an experience up. He competed in this year's Out of Motion, did quite well there.
Yeah, and I saw him out in Vancouver for NAPC. He's definitely building up a stronger resume in the competitive circuit.
He's really solid at parkour and also so much power.
Yeah, and it was great to see him come through on the qualifiers, land everything really clean, and I'm hoping to see it again here.
I really love his twist. He pulls doubles so easily.
Yeah, and he's able to put a Kong gainer pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think so far in the comments below and who you can't wait to see. Right now, there you go. There's that Kong gainer from Jeff Greedo coming through a little bit low.
Downwards Kong gainer, super technical.
Yeah, making
super
it even harder. Seeing again that lache right into that pounce inward. Oh, getting a little bit of that flare into that. I don't even know what you want to, if you it'd be like kind of like a cast back, but almost in like a.
He is racking
like
up the flow
points.
Did look
that
like
lache tack
monkey
monkey
down.
down.
Missed at the first round there, first way round there. I am sensing quite a lot of nerves from the athletes tonight. They look a lot more tense than they were yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, could be the lights, could be the audience. Here's another look at that frog gainer down. Using a little monkey out, which judges might take a fraction of a point off for that, but still a good landing from him. I think he'll definitely lose a little bit for having to go back twice for this move, but it's so unique and creative, I think it's worth it.
Seamlessly around the stage, pulled up again and executed so gracefully. I think should be very happy with that run.
Thank you.
As they say, winners never quit, quitters never win.
Jeff Greedo, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so great run from Jeff Greedo, and I think, sometimes even if you're going to lose points on execution and flow, judges do respect when you have something in mind that you want to hit, and you go back and you stick it. We've seen that from athletes in the past. It's kind of that Tony Hawk moment, You didn't get your 900 on your first try. Who cares how many tries it takes after that? You go until you get it, and he did it. He finished strong.
So we have the defending champ coming up, Joey Adrien, a man that always throws down big.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most consistent athletes in the sport today.
I would say he's one of the fittest as well. This guy never stops. When he was warming up, every warm-up I see, he goes 100%.
And, he has to go, he has to work harder to get to the same places as everybody else, because it takes him about twice as many steps as everyone else.
Some of those drops are twice the size they are for someone, opposed to someone like Eric.
But definitely check out this guy's social media. He's got a lot of information. He's really, really developing a style of training specifically for competition, and it's obviously working for him. He's been a dominant force in competitions left and right over the last couple years, and I think we can expect another great showing from him here at the Air Wipp Challenge.
Huge side flip over the gap there.
And tumbling out of it, making that level of difficulty even higher.
Oh,
nice.
Gargoyle full there. Straight to a double twist.
Yeah, he makes those double twists look so easy. Looking at making his way back up the course, getting that palm flip.
He definitely moves with so much determination. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and he sets himself for every trick after.
Yeah, and it's all about the way that he trains. You know, he practices putting together these minute-long lines, and he nails everything in that run. Without a doubt, we're going to be seeing Joey get through to the finals with that.
He looks super happy with that run. You know what the craziest thing is? It looks like he could go to the top of the course and he could do that all over again with no effort whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him do this interview afterwards because I don't even know if he's out of breath. Like, he just looks excited.
I don't know how you train for these events, but it definitely looks like it's paying off. You do so much in such a short span. Not only that, but you keep the level so high into the flow, hanging cast full, with no run-up, crossing that gap. And I love the finish. Just as strong as you started, wrap full on the ground.
I feel like there's some really smart play coming out of these athletes in the finals. A few of the athletes seem to be taking some tricks they saw that were rewarded well yesterday and using them today.
Yeah. Here.
It's been an amazing event, legendary.
To hear Joey saying that was his first time ever throwing that hang cast full in competition outside. And that's, you know, that's what this competition is all about. It's about getting the best of the best to take it a step farther to the next level. And you know what Joey Adrien did there? Pulled out moves we weren't expecting to see and a lot of the ones we love to see from him. And of course, Joey's still got energy to burn with a nice, perfect step out Webster on the floor just to make his way off. All right, but next up, Jesse Peveril. He's repping Canada, but he's actually living in Switzerland at the moment. He said this has been one of the best years for him to take it easy. He's picked up a little sponsorship from X Dubai that's allowed him to take his training a little bit more seriously, and I know he's been really trying to push it in competition and building up his skill set. But what
I feel like we're going to see a very solid parkour run from him today. That's what I'm predicting. He is a man with the bag of all-round tricks, but he loves his parkour movement. So I think he's going to go heavy in for a parkour run.
Yes, but one of the most creative parkour athletes. You know, he uses those huge hops that he has to put together some jumps that nobody else would look at.
He definitely likes to go big.
Giant dive Kong off of that tiny pillar. And I love, look at that transition he used just to get up, choosing to do something that just makes that really easy climb up into something a little different.
Oh, nice. Huge lâché to the highest part of the course.
Yeah, and from a really awkward setup, angled Kong over that bar. Even his transitions like that, he's finding ways that other people wouldn't think to do it. Losing a little bit of flow here, but setting up for something big.
Oh.
Ah, that plyo dive roll.
Position straight to a dive roll. I mean, I feel like he's one of the only guys in this competition who could do that.
Yeah, his transitions in this are just so powerful, you know, and he's able to just put that energy in really unique places where other athletes wouldn't be able to pull strength out.
You're so dominant at what you do. Do you find it hard to bring your style to compete with the acrobatic style of other competitors?
I find it easier to stick to my style because it's what I love doing.
Well, it definitely shows that you love doing it. Really good. Look at this arm jump. Hey, this lâché to arm. Such a hard thing to snatch. And then finally, the plyo dive roll.
So that great plyo dive roll you saw over the gap. Again, like we said, using those strong parkour movements, but in a really creative way. I love that first dive Kong too, because he put himself in a position where it's not just a big movement, but it's also very precise, and he has to put his hands so close together on that 6-inch box.
When we were in Santorini, when people standing with the
So let us know what you guys thought of Jesse's run and who has been your favorite so far. What are you guys loving other than your incredibly good-looking commentators up here in the booth, which we'll just take that as a given. But make sure, you guys are commenting below and share the link for this because it's up to you guys to help us promote this event and make sure, you know, we're building it up and making it bigger every single year. So let people know that it's going down live, the 2017 Air Wipp Challenge. And next up, huge fan favorite, two-time Art of Motion champion, DK.
Also podium in this competition last year. He is sporting an injury at the moment, so I do feel like we're going to see a bit different of a run than usual from him.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of that kinesio tape on his left hand. It's a little bit of a sprain through that wrist, but such a strong competitor and so driven. All right, nice landing right into that pistol speed full down. There you go. Even I'm seeing dive rolls and bars from him. I thought he was going to be laying off his hands, but it looks like he just wants it.
Ooh, it looks like he's set for that bar trick and didn't want to go for it, though.
Oh, yeah, so maybe he is still taking it. Oh, there you go. Pulling off that wall gainer. Coming back onto the bar. Ah, dropping down into that kumquat. Maybe that was the move he wanted before, and he just added it right back in. You know what I liked about that is, you know, as opposed to Jeff Greedo's run where he wanted to go back and hit the move,
he still made it look like it was on purpose.
Yeah, so I don't even know if he meant to do that other move on the left side of the course, but he still was able to pull it around.
And it definitely shows here today. Checking out this right here, rotating on your knees, straight into that knee.
Knee 360.
Stomped perfectly as well.
That's ridiculous. And how do you feel about your run?
Well, I feel great. I had like a little stumble, which I fixed in the second time that I tried again. I'm so happy about that because it's so difficult when you don't succeed on something you have been working on to go back and do it again like Jeff did before, and so much respect for that. So I'm so happy to be here again representing. Unfortunately today I was injured, so I tried a lot just today to be able to throw down this run, and I'm so happy I did in the end. So I was thinking about competing or not competing. So thank you all for being here, supporting. See you soon.
DK, you did a great job.
DK taking a bit of a moment to reflect with the audience there.
Yeah, you know, DK is all about the audience and his fans. He loves to put on a good show. I think it comes from getting all that support of showing up at Art of Motion in Santorini with a huge crowd support has really become a fuel for him. And, you know, he feels like when he goes to compete, it's not just representing Red Bull, it's not just representing Tempest, he's representing all of Greece. And he really has been a huge part of bringing this sport to the mainstream there. And it's so cool when you travel through Greece now. You know, free running, kind of like it is becoming here in Sweden, is not a fringe sport. It is mainstream there, and he has done a ton of work
at the forefront of bringing that sport to Greece.
Now somebody that's representing a totally different scene, one of the most unique athletes out here on the course.
Newest member to Team Farang.
Valtteri. About to get weird on this course. If I can guarantee one thing.
He started keying his movement, the squid movement. I don't know what that's all about, but it's something that I think is going to catch on.
Oh, going for that triple full right off the gates. Not quite landing as clean as he wanted to, but still going out of it, keeping on moving. Nice, working his way down the waterfall. Oh, nice.
He really recovered well from that triple. A lot of other people that compete may have let that affect the rest of their run, but he just took it, got up, took it like a man and continued. And the rest of the run was very solid.
Yeah, he was able to finish it off strong with that cart frisbee, which is basically a touchdown double. So luckily he's got that steezy style to be able to pull things through. But look at how much speed going
into the frisbee off these hands. Executed very well.
So that's like a 2.5 he's basically doing there off his hands. So nuts.
Making a statement for all the other competitors that you mean serious business.
Yes, serious business, very serious.
You're a very serious person, actually, yeah. But you started strong, finished even stronger with the Cartahara. I know that's such a difficult move on its own. And at this level, across this gap for the run-up, how do you feel?
It could have been cleaner, but it was amazing.
I'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, Valtteri!
So you can never really tell at the end of the run if he's been happy with it, and he looked very happy today. So even with the small slip up at the start, I think he should still be very proud of that run.
Yeah, without a doubt. What did Annan call it? The Cartahara? That's a good name for it. I like it. It's really, really solid run from Valtteri. Of course, that one slip up that'll probably affect him, but moving right along into one of the biggest powerhouses we have in the sport right now. One of the strongest athletes, I would say.
Yeah. He did actually do the castaway full that we saw Joey do just before, and that's what I was briefing on. I feel like some of the athletes have seen what was working well yesterday and added it to their runs. I didn't actually see him warm up, so I've got no idea what he has in the bag for us, but he always has something super powerful in all
without
of his
a doubt.
runs.
I mean, look at those quads. Guy's got the shortest shorts in the game. Webster double to start it off. No problem. Then coming up onto the bar. A really clean flyaway into that palm flip.
So much control out of that double front.
Yeah. Nice, seeing a little bit of the flow he put together at the beginning. Nice double full. And that X out back into the wall flare.
You know, he is a lot heavier than some of the other athletes, and sometimes it looks like he may be gassing out a little bit. And then out of nowhere, he just pulls a double, whether it be a double twist or whatever it is. Where does he pull that power from?
Yeah, I'm seeing in the live chat, Kerry eats double backs for breakfast. Yeah, I feel like then Webster fronts are just lunch, because he put it down so hard on this course.
So much risk reward to put into the competition. Hopefully the judges are going to really reward you for that effort. It looked amazing. Down here, we had some great connection down the flow section. Happy to see you mixing it up. You think that's going to put you through?
Probably.
Probably. I like the optimism. Ladies and gentlemen.
I want to say that I do love my girlfriend.
Oh, giving some love to his girlfriend. She actually qualified for the women's comp, made it through into the finals yesterday. Great run. Actually, a really similar style. Like, you can definitely tell that they trained together. I think Kyria just did one of the same flow lines that she put together in her run. But next up, another Eastern European.
Moment.
Yeah, representing Ukraine, Alexander Titorenko.
The winner of this year's Art of Motion.
Yeah, known to all of his brand new fans as the blue shorts guy.
He's even added his Instagram description to blue shorts guy.
I thought those were his longtime Lucky Shorts, but he said he bought them in Turkey shortly before the Art of Motion, specifically for his wardrobe. I guess he had in mind he was gonna make something for himself as the blue shorts guy, and they match perfectly with the blue bars here at the Air Whip Challenge course. So he comes from actually a soccer or football background, but he's been working in the circus, been traveling around, like I said, in Turkey as an acro dunk artist. Really nice two-step wall gainer. Oh, nice round off dive roll full up the box. Oh. Gainer over the gap, and a big side flip over that huge drop over the bars. Side flip precision to that tiny little pillar and back full off. Such a good run from Titorenko.
I mean, I'm speechless. Yeah. I have to admit, I going into every competition run I've seen him do it, I think to myself every time, all right, maybe it was just luck, but he's just proving that he is a power athlete and has an
yeah, look how high he is on that wall gainer. And then doing this round off 360 dive roll up onto the box. And then, of course, that signature tunnel gainer over that huge gap at the top of the course, and then just a massive side flip over the rail. And then seamlessly putting in this combo, that's just doing a precision down, precisioning straight out of that. I mean, there's just so much control there. I just did an interview with Alexander right before this. That's actually pretty much the only thing he knows how to say in English. Blue shorts guy.
I mean, if we look over what the runs that we've seen so far, that has to be a finalist.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, right up there in terms of the unique movements, the level of difficulty and connection, right up there with Joey Adrien. I think we've got at least a couple of our top finalists already in play, but we've got 4 athletes left. Our youngest athlete, Robbie Griffith, is up next, but we still got Joe Scandrick, Kaylin Chan, and Kevin Fransen, our Swedish qualifier and last year's youth champion, still yet to
So
go.
happy to see someone repping the full parkour style going through. Robbie Griffith. He really uses up the whole course, traversing across those bars yesterday. So solid, so strong for someone who's so young.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a chance to hang out with him a little bit in Vancouver for NAPC, and this kid just showed up for every event there. We're talking speed, skills, style, and he's able to represent in all those categories, and he makes it look so easy. Like
he hasn't got a lot of competition experience. It could be something that one of the small things that makes a big difference in this competition, but
it's been working. Whatever he's doing has been working for him so far, and it's obviously been working for the judges because they put him through. Nice, clean side flip. Popping over to the bar. Flyaway full, a little bit close to that wall, but he keeps on going. Palm flip off the corner, chalking up. So he makes his way back onto the bars. Coming through.
Really utilizing those full bar setup, up and down.
Nice. We've seen a lot of athletes using that slant wall lache setup. Go for those pop inwards. All right, it must be setting up for something big here because he's going to take a second, sacrifice some flow. He's got a nice big drop precision. I'm hoping we'll get a replay from another angle on that one because that is a massive drop to a really tiny wall. It looks like there's a large wedge there, but it actually is only a couple inches wide where he landed.
That has to be the biggest running precision on this course.
Yeah, it's without a doubt the biggest one we've seen so far. Let's see what he has to say about it. Here you can see that again. Big jump, and you can see that's a whole body's height of drop he's taking in addition to the distance he's covering.
Good luck.
Really nice to see the precision here. Regrab.
Super technical run in a little bit different of a way than most of the athletes so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows that confidence in his technical skills to be able to put so many of those rail precisions in his runs and make them a part of it because it's such an easy movement to mess up. You have to be so precise with it, and you know, I think taking the time to chalk up and make sure his hands are clean is smart. You know, he had a lot of good connectivity, but I think he knew if you mess up any of those precisions, any of those swings or jumps, you know, you're losing all those points anyway. All right, our last three athletes here. One of your favorites from the qualifiers, Joe Scandrett out of the UK. What do you think we can look forward to here?
Oh, I think yesterday was definitely the best competition performance that I've seen from him ever. He's always in shape. He always has a little injury every time I speak to him, but then just busts out some of the most crazy stuff you're going to see in the free running community.
Yeah, and he has so many high-level moves on lock and just the ability to throw them anywhere. So when you find a course like this one that really plays to his style, he's able to really just throw down move after move, and he doesn't have to worry about sort of running to the next spot, which I think is where we've seen him suffer in comps a lot.
Very smart competitor and just such a powerhouse as well. He's so strong. Power to weight ratio is second to none.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the shoulders and chest. I mean, he's got so much upper body strength, and he's so compact. He's able to pull a lot of these moves, like that no-handed gargoyle gainer, just pushing off the front side of the wall. And then no-handed pimp flip, just to show that maybe he's giving a little throw to DK and showed him what he could do without his hands. Slips up there a little bit. Unfortunate there, especially because he had such a unique way to get into that movement before. Popping out that wall, just a little tumbling line. And he's going to call it. Joe not happy with that performance. Obviously a few slip-ups, but those first couple moves so big and just great landings. Really, really good control. Here's another look at that no-handed gargoyle gainer. Just such a nasty setup for that move.
May have just overplanned a little bit too much for that run. I think he'd taken out the steps of exactly what he wanted to do, and once he messed up the first one, it sort of threw him off for the rest of the run.
Yeah, you can see that right where it was cutting. He just slipped up for that big wall run.
It affected the next skill, and yeah, you saw what happened.
We know every athlete here choreographs their runs so tight. Every step is mapped out, and sometimes it doesn't come together. But you put on a great show. We love those starting moves, all the no-handed tricks. So scary, actually. I would never even try those. You did a great job. Joe Scandra, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there is two very different styles of competitors. There are the people that flow sort of a little bit more naturally into the course, and then Joe does like to sort of choreograph his run, and as we said, unfortunately, it doesn't always go as planned.
Well, yeah, the harder the moves are, the more difficult they are, the harder it is to connect them seamlessly. And that's where, it really comes down to these more experienced competitors finding ways to link together those movements. And somebody who we've seen a great progression of that is our next competitor, Kaylin Chan out of the U.S. Really young kid, but with a ton of potential. He's the first person we ever saw hit Kong Gainer full outside, and the first person to hit it to concrete as well. We saw him throw down in this year's Red Bull Art of Motion, stomping out a scoot full in, back out.
Do you think we're going to see it again today?
I don't know. I think that he is somebody who has been paying attention a lot to what's been working for him. I think he saw there that he put so many bangers in that run, he wasn't able to hit them all cleanly, and it ended up costing him a spot on the podium. So I think if he does exactly what he did in the qualifiers, we're definitely going to see him in the finals, and we could very, very easily see him on the podium.
I saw him throwing full in, full out the other day in a video. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, obviously, he's got the skill set for it. He's got all kinds of weird off-axis doubles. He's got grabs in spots you would not imagine. And, he's having a great time. He's loving life right now. He's here with his girlfriend, Reagan Anderson, who competed in the women's division. Oh, yeah, the Iron Cross gargoyle gainer. Look at that full with that touchdown right off the wall, just adding those level of difficulty, making him have to go closer to the wall. And look how much speed he's coming into everything with. It's way harder to hit some of these moves with that much energy going into it. A little ghost step and a big gainer, which I don't think he planned to turn into that roll, but he just carried it through. And you know what? So much respect for that, because when you see an athlete make a mistake and there's nothing you can do about it, you can either let it stop you or you can let it turn it into something else, and that's exactly what he did there. He literally turned it into a waterfall progression down that course.
Kalin,
yeah,
let's
get a replay on a couple of those moves, because there was some really, really crazy stuff. There's that ghost step right into this running gainer.
Just over-rotated.
Yeah, but look how he turns that
slightly.
roll into a little vault down and made his way seamlessly to the bottom. And that Iron Cross gargoyle gainer. Such a difficult way to get into this move. You're literally just having to pull it hard. And then I love how he adds that
cheeky little touch on the wall there.
Well, it just shows that he can put himself close enough to the wall, meaning he's got that precision for a move that might not be so hard. Normally he's making it even more difficult.
This is the coolest thing ever, to be able to compete on this amazing course and be with all of you wonderful people, and wow, I just don't want to say, I'm just happy to be here. The last part, I over-rotated the gainer a little bit. I wasn't planning on coming down here, but I improv'd a little bit, and I think it worked out.
Great recovery, Kalin. You did amazing.
He did really recover from that. I don't think it's going to punish him too badly.
No, I mean, I think that obviously a cleaner landing would have gotten him a better score for that individual movement, but as an overall run, I think he was able to keep that execution and flow higher because he went with it, and he showed he has those skills to just keep it going and make it happen when it counts.
We have seen a few more slip-ups than we did in the qualifiers yesterday, so there might be a couple of people that make it through who did have a little bit of a slip-up, where yesterday everyone was really executing super high for every run. So it's going to be interesting. We might get a couple of surprises come through the finals here.
Yeah, well, one of the cleanest runs in the qualifier yesterday was last year's Air Whip Challenge Youth Division champion,
Second place.
Second place in last year's.
Which is absolutely unbelievable that he's gone from the youth division last year, moving up into the adults division and beating out 65 people to make it into the finals. Yes. And he is a local hero. This kid has a huge career ahead of him. I've had the opportunity to train with him. He's developed so much over the last year. I'm so proud of him. And he is extremely nervous, but he's someone has this mindset that uses the nerves to his advantage. He actually likes being nervous before these events?
It was really interesting talking to him because the athlete that went right before him ended up injuring himself on the last move of his run, and so they had to bring the medics in. Everything had to stop for a second, which can be a huge energy kill, especially you're warmed up, you're on deck, you're ready to go, and for such a young competitor to have to follow up immediately after that, there's so much pressure on him, and he brought it. It was one of my favorite runs from the entire qualifier. If he can keep that sound mind and body for this run, I think he's going to do absolutely amazing.
He's such a showman as well. He loves the crowd. He loves that he's in his hometown. I am expecting to see something very surprising, and
yeah,
I'm actually nervous for him. So.
Well, he's the only athlete here on home turf. He's got a lot of love from the audience. He has been traveling around the world. I saw him in Santorini for the on-site qualifiers. He came out with all his friends and family. You know, it's one of the awesome things about this event and Air Whipp and what they're doing here is they've really built such a strong community. They're so supportive, and so clean, hitting that roll bomb straight out of the stride.
So much speed coming into that and so much control.
And look at that perfect flow down the whole front side of the right course, making his way back up into the middle section, looking for some love because he's going Randy and stomps it. Wow. That was
the crowd absolutely
as good a run, if not better than his qualifiers, hitting that perfect roll bomb. And what I love about it so much is he didn't take a lot of time setting it up for it. He took it out of the stride over that big gap and seamlessly came out in the rest of the run. And then, of course, finishing off super strong with that Randy 2.5 twists, one of the toughest moves you can hit, and just stomping it out. Look at that. No stumbles. So clean, carrying it through. I love that front section. And then here you get another view on that Randy. Oh, my gosh.
So happy when he landed that.
Yeah, and you can't see the crowd there, but we had all of his friends and family on their feet just going nuts for it.
With the slip-ups earlier on in the competition, that might actually be enough for him to get through to the finals.
Oh, without a doubt. I think we're going to be seeing him there.
Overkligt. Ja, du är grym. Jag tycker vi ger Kevin en stor, varm applåd.
Of the Air Whipp Challenge 2017.
Så, det som precis har hänt nu är att de första 18...
That is it for our semifinals of the Air Whipp Challenge. Amazing showing so far. So many athletes as those judges are going to have to go for. I do not envy that position right now because, I mean, we just saw some insane stuff. I mean, they are going to be sweeping jaws up off the floor for the next couple days. What do you think, Sean? Who are your favorite runs so far?
I mean, it's very hard to say, but we definitely saw some. I mean, Nate Weston absolutely killed it. Someone that, as I said, has such an awesome second run planned. Hope to see him in the finals. I mean, Kevin, his run just may not have been long enough.
All right, we'll send it over to Zirkin.
With what happened yesterday, it was the youth competition and the women's competition. Give it a go.
Let's get this stuff going. Can you make some noise for the women of this competition?
Every year, right?
Every year it gets bigger. Every year the level goes up. Every year I piss my pants in anticipation. It's gonna be sick.
Stor varm applåd! Ja, det var fantastiskt att se vår första tjejtävling, you know, and the first women competition. What was your thoughts about it? Like the level on it?
Thus far in the world, it's been kind of a boys' club in the world of parkour and freerunning. So it was great to see so many talented female athletes. I was so impressed with the level of skill. They're really catching up with the men in this arena, and is so proud of all these women. It's just going to be amazing. These ladies are pioneers leading the way for so many young women out there. We're going to have an amazing scene in a few years.
Yes. Ja, det är fantastiskt. Där vi hade alltså möjligheten att kunna skapa en plattform där tjejerna också fick vara med och tävla, och ungdomar, och den här finalen här också idag. Och också vill jag också passa på att förklara lite om just parkour-communityn. Det här handlar inte om att bya på någon. Det här handlar om att hjälpa varandra. Och det är därför vår parkour-community växer så oerhört snabbt. Därför det handlar inte heller om vilken längd, färg, det spelar liksom ingen roll. Du är alltid välkommen och du tränar efter dina egna förmågor. Och det är det ni ser när alla precis har gjort ett trick, så springer man oftast fram och kramar och säger bra jobbat, du har gjort detta. Och det är det vi gillar. I'm talking about just with the community, like the love and friendship, they're really growing so fast.
It is one of those amazing things about this sport in particular, why it's growing so fast. I have to give 100% of the credit to all the men and women who really support each other. They really want everyone in the world to experience what a great sport, what a great activity this is, and how people can grow and experience such positive change in their lives when they do something as intricate and personal as a sport like this.
Yes, definitely. Oh, so here all the 18 athletes coming up.
Make some noise for our competitors, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's do some interviews with them and ask them some questions, how they're feeling.
I think they're feeling pretty nervous. We have, just looking at their faces right now, we had so many good runs, so many different styles. It's hard to tell what the judges are going to reward today.
Joey, who do you think will, do you think you will go to the finals?
Honestly, this is like one of the most legendary lineups in any competition, so I have absolutely no idea who's making it through.
Yeah, they're like the level here, like there's no room for error, not at all. Hey, Alex, you know you're a very handsome guy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold up. I got to bring this one up because this one impresses me every time I see it. Jesse LaFleur, how old are you?
32.
Oh!
How old do you feel?
21.
Yes!
We're gonna party!
Jesse still keeping up with all these children. Look at this. Honestly.
He's 16.
16 and 32 standing here on the same stage, competing against one another. Just goes to show you're going to see some crazy things in a sport like this.
I have someone here in the audience that was in the youth competition, Valle. Vad tycker du om denna tävlingen så här långt?
Jag tycker den är väldigt bra.
Ja, det är härligt. Det är bra svar ju. Det är kanon. Isak, vad tycker du då?
Nice.
Nice är också ett fantastiskt jobb. Vi tar Mange. Mange har ju snickrat ganska mycket. Vad tycker du om nivån just här och nu?
Det är helt otroligt. Det är det bästa jag har sett, tror jag, i parkoursammanhang.
Och ni är ju då, om vi har då Lottis och Mange, ni är såna här riktiga parkourföräldrar. Lottis, du åker iväg med de här barnen på husvagn och överallt i hela Europa för de ska göra parkour. Varför gör ni det?
Det är en fantastisk sport. Och killarna har kompisar över hela Europa och det är total lycka.
Ja, där har ni svaret. Där har ni svaret. Vi väntar. We're still waiting for the judges' results to come over here. Or does Marcus have them? Oh, han vill säga någonting.
I know it, but I can't tell it yet.
Oh. So we're still waiting on the judges.
Just waiting for the final scores to be entered into the computer. Calculations are very complex.
And the reason, why is the reason, I mean, Anna, you've been judged a couple of times. Why does it take time?
Well, because of the open-endedness of a sport like this, there are many ways to excel. It's not just about difficulty, it's not just about speed, it's not just about precision, it's about all these different things and more. So when these judges get together, they have so many things to consider. And to watch it all in one sitting, to place 18 athletes in the perfect order is very difficult. That's why they have to carefully consider their scores over and over again, making sure they made all the right decisions. That's why they need this extra time to recalculate, to reconsider their scores and be as truthful and honest and accurate as possible.
Exakt. Jag var domare i Detroit 2011 och man satt där och väntade, gick igenom poängen och bara tänkte, vem kommer gå vidare? För kan inte alla här hålla med om vilken otrolig nivå det har precis varit? And that's why we need to take in consideration with all the points and everything so we can get them on time. And I think we have the points. We have the people who will go to the finals of the Air Wipp Challenge 2017 powered by Samsung Gear. Nu är det spännande. Vem kommer gå till final?
Gentlemen, in my hand I hold the list of 6 athletes proceeding to the final round. In 6th place, with 480 points, DK! In 5th place, with another 480 points, Eric Muka mentioned. In 4th, Kevin!
Yeah!
We're not done yet. In 3rd place, holding his ground with 496, Christian. And our final 2 spots. In our final 2 spots, we have Alexander Titarenko. And clinching the final spot in our grand final, Joey Adrien!
Joe Adrien!
Those are our finalists.
So amazing. All right. Vi kommer hålla paus nu i 25 minuter. 20 och 40 kommer ni tillbaka. Välkomna att gå ut och testa på Samsungs G360 monitor. Handla lite våra kläder. Köp kaffe, kaka och kom tillbaka.
All right, and we are back here at the 2017 Air Whip Challenge, and we are live after the semifinals just went down. Absolutely insane runs. You just heard your top 6 right there. Of course, last year's champion, Joey Adrien, with a huge showing again, winning this year's semifinal and securing his spot back in the finals round. Some great surprises, of course, seeing Alexander Tito Renko, this year's Red Bull Art of Motion champion, making it through into the finals again. But I am very excited to be here with this year's women's division champion, Elise Bickley, representing the UK. Elise, how you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. Just a bit achy from yesterday, but...
Yeah, you had a super solid run. I think throwing down moves that would easily earn you a spot here in the main event. How do you train for something like this?
Well, I don't really, like, try one move at a time. I kind of just, like, you know, try learn a few moves and then, like, progress them all whilst I do, and then learn them all.
How did you get into the sport? I mean, you're... How old are you now?
13.
13, and how long have you been training for?
For like 2.5 years-ish, yeah. Around.
Wow, and how did you find out about the sport?
Well, I always used to like climb on like sofas and, you know, and then like my mum, she didn't like it, so she like, we found out about this little club, parkour club, and she just took me to there, and then I like really liked it, so I started, you know, actually doing it seriously, and that's it.
So I heard you actually traveled here with your coach, is that right?
Yeah.
What kind of training programs does he put you on? Is he including gymnastics, climbing, what kind of stuff?
Well, we have like quite like, you know, big gym in Rotherham in England, but it's like he's really, you know, he can actually do parkour and free running himself. He's been doing it for 13 years, so he knows what he's doing, and he just kind of like teaches me what he knows already, and that's it.
So this is one of your first big international competitions, but I know you've been doing a lot of local competitions and doing really well. On the DL, I've been checking out all of them on Instagram. It's absolutely insane to watch, but how did you decide you were ready to start competing?
Well, I wanted to like submit this year for Air Whip, and I thought like my mum won't let me go because it's just like, you know, she's got work and everything, but then Tempest said they would pay for my flight, and then I told her, and then I convinced her to, you know. So I did my submission, and then got through. And
well, it was an amazing submission. You definitely deserved all the support that you're getting. I would love to know. There's so many young kids out there, and especially young female athletes that are trying to come up. What could you say to them to help inspire them, or what is it that inspires you?
I personally get inspired by like other female freerunners, actually, like because they all, you know, like they've come so far and they've all like progressed really well. So I don't know what I'd say to someone trying to.
Who would you say is your favorite freerunners right now?
What, female or just any?
In general.
Ooh, I don't know. It's quite tough. Well, like there's a lot of people from like Tempest that are really like Sydney Olsen and like yeah, just like loads of people. I like Valtteri from Farang at the moment. It's really like inspiring just seeing like different types of movement in parkour and freerunning.
All right. What's your #1 song most played on your iPhone right now?
I don't know.
You don't even know what your favorite song is right now?
I can't pick. It's really.
So when you're out training, what's your go-to jam?
I don't even know really. I just like, I don't know. I can't really think like, because like at the gym that I train at, they have like dance, so we just kind of like listen to what songs they're playing and then just train to that. It's just kind of it.
So a product of your environment, you're surrounded by a ton of amazing athletes, great coaches, great people helping you out. Where do you feel like you get the most inspiration from outside of the sport of freerunning? Are there any other sports or artists or things that are really getting you excited?
I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know. I kind of like, I like the fact that not like people who do like martial arts, they do like tricking as well, so it actually gets into more like flips instead of just, you know, actually like karate and stuff. Yeah, like stuff like that is pretty cool.
Well, obviously, as one of the youngest competitors here and an absolutely dominant champion, who's also one of the nicest people I've met so far here in Sweden, what can we expect coming up from you in the future?
Well, hoping to be here next year and just keep progressing my trick so it's even just, you know, more powerful next year, more flowy, and just trying to make it best it can be.
Maybe an upcoming trip to Los Angeles?
Hope so.
All right, well, I think we can definitely expect to see a lot more from this incredible athlete, Lee Bickley, absolutely crushing it. Hey, up top, well done, and we can definitely expect to see you next year. All right, and we're going to bring out our next interview right now. I think we've got Kaylin Chan here right now. So thanks, Elise. Why don't you go grab Kaylin and see if you can wrangle him on up here. So you heard it from Elise herself. That's the women's division champion, absolutely throwing down, 13 years old, and dominating this competition. She beat out Sydney Olsen, a veteran competitor, by 2 points in one of the most impressive lines I've seen from these next-gen athletes. Speaking of next-gen athletes that have come up and changed the game, I've got my man, Kaylin Chan here. Kaylin, come on over. All right, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. How you feeling right now? I know that you had a little slip-up, but is your body all right? Everything still in one piece?
Yeah, everything's good. I guess, like, on that gainer, I was not expecting to over-rotate because in practice I had it perfect and stuff. And so they said I was really close, and, you know, it's a bummer because if I had a really, really dope final run for you guys, but that's all right.
Well, I'm sure that we can organize something so we can see it next year, but I really, really recommend you guys go and check the video of the qualifier because your run in the qualifier was one of my favorite lines I've ever seen you put down. It was the perfect mix of your unique skills, those just weird setups for moves, and you connected it so well. Have you been changing your training up at all in the last year?
Kind of like just doing the same thing, just having fun and stuff. And actually with the qualifier runs, that run that you just talked about, my final run was based off of that, but with like 2 crazier tricks in it. And I had it perfect in practice, so, but
Oh, I wish we could have seen that, but I'm certain that we're going to be seeing a lot more great things from you. What's it like to be here? This is your first time, and you brought out your girlfriend. You both competed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been insane. Like, I'm so happy we came here. Like Reagan dominated. Like, this is her first competition. This is my first time here. 4th big competition. First one was Art of Motion at 2016, and it's just, Joey was telling me that, like, this is the coolest competition to be a part of. Like, you're up there, and that crowd, dude, it's amazing. The lights, everything is just so hyped.
It's the only competition with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
So you've got a really unique style. You're from Utah. Do you feel like your location, your architecture, your training facility, the people around you, what is it that sort of helps you develop that unique style?
You know, like, something really interesting I noticed is, like, there's cities like Colorado or, you know, even places in Washington that have lots of things that you can do parkour on, and most of those people are pure parkourists. And you have places that don't have, like, any ledges, and there's a lot of trickers from there. You know, like Utah, we don't necessarily have the best parkour spots, but we do have lots of just ledges of grass. So, like, that's kind of the popular thing there. We like just throwing big, creative tricks. Like, yeah, free running is definitely really popular there, and that's kind of like what created my style in a way.
Nice. All right. What's your favorite food, Kalin?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. Like, I love food so much, and there's so many things I just can't name my favorite.
If you had to pick one final meal, it could be 3-course if you want, what would you put on your plate?
I don't know, maybe just like, maybe some crepes or something. I like crepes.
You go sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Ah, I like it. Sweet and lovely Kaylin Chan telling you what the diet of a champion is like, and absolutely killing it on that course. It just goes to show you how high the level of competition is this year. When you go back and rewatch Kaylin's run, see some of the amazing stuff, including how well you recovered from that massive gainer over rotation. I think we get a lot more great things to see from you, and I'm looking forward to it coming up soon. All right, thanks, Kaylin. Could you grab Jeff Greedo for me?
Yeah, will do.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So there you have it from the man himself, Kaylin Chan, one of the favorites here to go into the finals. Just barely being edged out. Really only had one slip up in his run. It was a massive gainer he did off of the highest tower over the rails and just barely over-rotated, but able to flow out of it. It just shows you that everything has to be on point if you want to make it in the Air Whip Challenge. So it looks like we've got an American up here, California's Jeff Greedo. Jeff, what's up, man?
Yo, Frosty, what's up?
All right, Jeff. You are one of my favorite athletes to see train. I think you have such a cool style, so much steez in everything you do. How do you think it played here on the course?
Pretty well, because I kind of don't have some of the bigger tricks that these guys are doing, but I flow really well, and I can find different things to do that not a lot of people would, like the underbar, tic-tac, down monkey. Like, I love finding weird things like that to throw into my runs that kind of like are maybe surprising and maybe you wouldn't see normally, you know?
I like that you say you don't have the bigger tricks after you smashed out that sick drop-down frog gainer off of that ledge. I mean, what's maybe easy seeming to you is absolutely mind-blowing to most of the rest of us and everybody watching at home. But really, I don't even know, other than that one return trip, what you would have changed. Would you have done anything differently in your run other than running back around to hit that one move?
No, I hit everything pretty much how I wanted to, except for the slip-up. And then I did have maybe 1 or 2 more tricks planned to do on the floor after I vaulted down. But because of the slip-up, I kind of just decided to call it right there and just end my run smooth and clean.
So, like I said, I've been watching your videos for a long time, and you always kill it. How do you feel you're changing your style or improving your training? I know you have a new training spot, The Haven. Looks super sick. You've been bringing a lot of cool athletes out there like Joey to train with. Do you think it's been changing your style at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I grew up training outside for the most part, so I'm really comfortable on hard ground with all my tricks, but having the gym definitely helps me work on bar skills and other things that I maybe wouldn't find outside, and then being able to have a gym to train for competitions, which are new to me because I don't do a whole lot of competitions. I pretty much just focus on doing runs and keeping my style. I always try to show my style, so yeah.
That's cool. All right, what's the #1 song on your iPod right now?
Oh, man. I have a favorite artist named Felly. He just dropped a Wild Strawberries album, and I've been listening to that on repeat, so shout out to Felly.
Can you sing me one of the lines?
Well, no.
You want to do like an interpretive dance to it just to express it?
I just do congainers to it, that's all.
Hey, if that works for you, it works for me. I definitely need to download that track so I can work on mine as well. But killer run, Jeff. Obviously, you threw down hard, and it just goes to show how crazy this competition is getting. But I definitely expect to see you again, and make sure you guys check out Jeff online because his videos are off the chain. And if you ever get the chance, check out The Haven. It is a sick spot. Jeff, thank you so much, man. All right, could you send Nate up here for me? All right, so that's my man Jeff Greedo representing Cali here in the house. USA athletes are showing up here in this competition. We are actually bringing up another American athlete, one of my favorites to watch, Nate Weston. Nate, bring it in here. How you doing? All right, Nate, so you had a killer run, not to drive some salt to the wound, but all the way until that last move. It's such a weird setup. What do you even call that?
It's called a Jonah on full. So basically, as I'm going up into the air for the flip, I'm twisting to my right, and as I make a half turn, I do a full twist the other way. And yeah, it just like didn't happen, just didn't work as I planned it. And yeah, kind of like hit my right knee on the ground and kind of tried to save it a little bit, but just didn't really cover it up too much. So didn't make it in. But I had a great time, and it was sick. The competition was amazing. This Air Whip Challenge is a really good event, and I'm excited to see the finalists kill it.
Definitely. That movement itself is so crazy. I think it just goes to show again, and I keep almost repeating myself. It just reveals how you didn't even fully bail that move. You still carried your momentum out. You still do it, but even the tiniest little changes are costing people big. What do you see in going into competitions moving forward? I mean, you're obviously at this point an expert competitor. How do you think you've developed your style to sort of play to competition format?
Well, my style, like for Joey, he has a really good style where he just loves to do just like a lot of stuff and cram like his whole run just with a lot of stuff. And I'm a little bit different. I like to just do things that are different and I know no one else is going to do. So I think going into like the next competition, having known what happened here, I can kind of better prepare and try and be more thoughtful and be more strategic about my run.
Yeah, what do you do to put into your training? Because I know how someone like Joey, like you said, can train doing his high-level moves in sequence over and over and over. But your style is so creative and so different. There's, like, how do you prepare that? How do you train creativity?
It's just something you have to just kind of think outside the box. You can't really like look at it from like the outside and kind of think, oh, I need to do creativity. It's like it kind of just like happens, but you just got to train a lot and kind of be safe. Make sure you don't overdo anything because the moment you have fear with anything, it just kind of cuts you back a lot. And so you have to be able to commit, and that's a really big part of it as well.
Interesting. Okay, so outside of the world of free running, what are some of your biggest inspirations in life? Artists or places or events, anything outside of the world of free running? What inspires Nate West?
Dude, I don't know. Free running's my life. I like, honestly can't say there's one thing out there that like really inspires. Like, I guess I could say my family. I love my family, and like they help me so much, and they're super supportive. I keep on getting texts from them saying good job, and I fucking love you guys so much. Thank you.
What about your local community? I know that you've got a great scene up there in the Northwest. Do you feel like it's the location, the architecture, the training, the other athletes? What do you think it is about that space that's sort of like bred and built you into this absolutely dominant competitor?
Yeah, I started training at Parkour Visions in Seattle, and they have a lot of rails, and so I love to do side flip rail precisions, and that's definitely where it stemmed from for sure. But I love to train, just like do trampoline, and being around Seattle is such really good spots, and definitely helped me kind of be the man I am today.
Well, I'm going to take a second right now just because I'm sure you know about what's going on with Parkour Visions in Seattle right now. They're going through a really tough time due to some really stupid zoning issues. So if you guys are down to be supportive, go online and check out Parkour Visions and support what they're trying to do because they're dealing with some tough stuff right now, and they're an amazing training facility. Obviously, they created one of the best athletes in our sport today, but I'm sure you had a little bit of that to do with it yourself because you have such a unique style that I don't even know if anybody else could make it look as good as you do. So many props to you, Nate, and I look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Thank you very much. It was great talking.
Can you send Masa up here for me? Who? Masa? All right, so there you have it. One of the fan favorites to win this entire event, somebody who's been back and forth with athletes like Joey Adrien for the last couple years in competition, bringing his unique style to the game, and unfortunately just slipping up with this one move right at the end. And as you've seen here time and time again, even one small mistake can make all the difference. So we have our one and only competitor in the main event from Japan here. He qualified on site. Masa, please make your way up. What's up, man?
Thank you.
All right, so Masa, first, actually, do you speak English?
A little.
We'll keep it real simple. How did you feel about your run?
One more this.
Yes, one word. Did you have fun out there?
Fun out there?
Fun. Did you have a good time?
Yes, of course, yeah. So fun.
Who was your favorite athlete other than yourself?
Athlete? Favorite athlete?
Yeah.
I like Eric. Yes. Yes.
What is your favorite sport other than free running? Soccer, football, basketball, ice skating?
I week, ball. Sorry. Yeah.
Like it's a ball sport? No.
I week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Yeah, like soccer. That's cool. What's your favorite song right now?
What?
You got this.
Yes.
You can sing it if you need to.
I like song.
Yeah.
Yeah. The anti-covers, moonshot. My qualifier song, yes.
That was a fire track. Well, hopefully they'll see this live stream and maybe you'll get hooked up for the next show. All right, awesome run. So, how long have you been training for?
6, 7 years. Yeah.
6 years. What's the
start?
Oh,
yeah. Training start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 15.
Oh.
Yes.
You've been training for a while. What's the community like in Japan?
Japan community. Little. Yeah. But big. Yeah.
It's growing.
Yeah.
I know that we've seen athletes like Zen throw down on these courses. It's been really inspirational. We're very excited to have borrowed him in Los Angeles from you guys. But do you think we're going to see more athletes from Japan competing now?
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Yes. Coming. Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. Next year. Yeah. Coming.
Awesome. Well, I think it'll be because of athletes like you doing amazing in competitions like this. Is there anything you'd like to say in Japanese to everybody watching at home?
Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese.
Yeah. 見てくれてありがとうございました。来年はちょっと失敗したんですけど、来年はしっかり勝ちます。はい。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
All right, thank you so much, man. Awesome job out there. Can you send Jesse up for me? Great. So as you can see, an amazing international competition drawing athletes from all around the world. This competition has grown to not only be one of the most exciting events to watch, but for the athletes, it's pushing them year after year. And one of the veteran athletes that we see every year coming back, showing up time and time again to progress the sport, to push himself and take it to that next level, is my man, Jesse Flair from Los Angeles, California. Jesse, what is up? Ooh, coming in right on the break of the song. I love it. A man knows how to make an entrance.
Timing's everything.
Well, Jesse, we talked a little bit before the competition about how you really came here with specific moves to throw down, and you did it. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, this was an interesting one for me. I mean, the one trick that I definitely wanted was the one that I landed pretty well. At the end of the day, I'm super stoked. It definitely wasn't my best showing at a competition, but it's one of those ones where I'm surrounded by legends at this time, and I'm just happy to be competing with some of the best in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, this is something where you've obviously been a huge inspiration to so many of these people that are now showing up. You know, Elise Bickley was just talking to me about how you and Tempest are like some of her biggest inspirations and got her into this sport in the first place. How does it feel to be competing with those athletes that you inspired to get into this sport in the first place?
It's cool, man. Like, at the end of the day, you know, people always joke about like my age and then their age. You know, I'm competing against a 16-year-old right now, but at the end of the day, it's like a passing of the torch, and I'm here to help, and I love like giving advice and watching these kids take it and just absolutely smash it.
Well, I think you absolutely smashed in this run. I know you've been changing up a lot of what you've been doing because you're filling your time now with stunts. You just got off a stint doubling Nightcrawler and X-Men in Canada for a few months, doing Ninja Warrior. How do you think this sort of Hollywood lifestyle has changed your training and your style?
The last 4 months, it's been really tough to maintain a really strong training regimen, and I think it definitely had some impact on my performance today, but at the end of the day, it's all action. I get out as much as I can, whether that means going to train at like 11 p.m. and training into the AMs just because I love it.
After years of training, actually, how many years have you been training now?
It's 12 years.
So a dozen years of training. What is it that gets you out of bed in the morning to hit the streets? Like, what inspires Jesse?
Dude, it's that trick. Like, for me, the inspiration absolutely comes from this idea of exploring movement and trying to reinvent what we're possibly, like, what we can do.
Well, talking about inspiration, I've always tuned to your videos because they got the best songs. You're always checking out new artists, and you always the Fountless Fire tracks. Who should they be checking out for? Who's #1 in your playlist right now?
On my playlist?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's this dude out of LA that I can't even remember his name right now. I'm so bad at music names, but I'm just searching. Just go on SoundCloud and search random words, and you'll find songs that have like 300 views, but are so dope.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to turn it back over to these guys on the stage. We might have already done that. We're talking for no reason, but it's all good. My man Jesse Flair absolutely killing it. I'm Frosty Fresh, and the finals are about to go down now.
All right. We are ready for Helsingborg, the Airwhip Challenge 2017, powered by Samsung Gear. Vi är alltså i finalen. Spänningen är hög. De bästa av de bästa i världen. Och tänka sig, vi har en svensk som är med.
We have our 6 finalists, and they are ready for their next run. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's bring out the first competitor, DK!
DK! Welcome back to the second round of the Airwhip Challenge finals.
Yeah, we are live here in Helsingborg, Sweden for our top 6 athletes here on the course. We just saw DK make it through, just barely edging out the other competitors to make it into this finals round. It was a tight competition. You saw some amazing athletes with almost no mistakes not getting through. People like Kaylin Chan, who've consistently been able to make it through, just not being able to do it.
At this level of competition, it really is the people who can do a solid run, high difficulty with perfect execution. There is no chance for error at this level of competition. DK has made it through to the second round, sporting an injury.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that came down to what we were talking about in the first round, is that experience really starts to show, and he figured out how to do runs where he could use his wrist to a minimal amount, and even when he made a mistake and he didn't his move, he still carried it through, continued, added in some extra moves so he can get into place and hit, make sure he was hitting the bars on the course. And, you know, a smart competitor pays off in the end.
Well, I'm eating my words because I honestly thought that this course wasn't going to favor DK. And here he is, as I said, with an injury, through to the second round. He has to be one of the most consistent competitors in our sport. Oh, it's so awesome to see.
Yeah, well, he's got his own stuff. Oh, stomping out a double side to kick things off. That's everything that you could expect from a DK run. Look at that. He's
coming out with
into that palm flip.
Serious determination.
Yeah, like turning that 540 wall flip almost into a double, turning that devil drop almost into a cat gainer, just with adding these extra half twists and everything. And it's one of the things that DK's been known for.
Oh,
there's his DK flip.
What a run.
Wow, yeah. You know, that's the kind of run that you expect from an athlete like DK.
He did have a slip up with that move on the first run towards the end, and he is coming to the second round full of power. Wow, that was incredible.
I think he played it smart, hitting that that 180 palm flip instead of a regular bar trick, because it allowed him to not put that pressure on his wrist in the same way. But look at that double side, so clean. Let's see what DK has to say about this run. I think he's going to be really happy with it.
Good, DK. The
Look
thing
how
about
he
you,
adds
like,
those extra half turns into everything.
Even though you're breathing now,
Really utilizing the whole course for that run as well was something that the judges are definitely looking for.
Uh-oh, and then made the mistake of giving him the mic. Might never get it back.
If you're you have some kind of nervousness inside you, but when the time comes, you have to go. So that's all. I'm so happy to be here, so happy to be with these 18 people and all the other athletes from Sweden and from everywhere around the world. Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Definitely a man of many words, and it's really cool. He is really inspiring for a lot of kids in his from Greece. And as you said earlier, you know, you go to Santorini now, and he's legitimately he's a superstar over there. And he is you see that he has some kids that he trains with coming up. Like a lot of the time, they have a very similar style with him, and I think they're going to be, you know, the next generation of beasts coming out of Greece.
Yeah, I don't mind if more people have DK style, because it's fluid, it's connected, it's clean, and it's dialed out. You know, it's not a bad style to scheme on.
How cool would it be to be a free runner from Greece? Imagine if you could take weekend trips over to Santorini.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine it. Probably would get a little expensive after a while, but hey, it'd be worth it.
So here we have one of my favorite athletes in the sport, Eric. This guy needs no introduction. It's really cool. You know, there's been some controversy over the years about emotion. You know, a few of his submissions didn't make it through. Hasn't been competing on the international scale for quite a while. He's come back, full form. When is this guy not in full form?
Absolutely, and you know, Eric told me a story the other day about he was supposed to judge an event as a special guest, and
they're paying him to not compete these days, right?
Yeah. But they said that they didn't have enough money to pay him, so he decided to qualify and ended up winning the event. But that's what happens when you invite a monster like Eric Mukametch into your event. You know, he might just show up and take it all.
You know, he's 27 years old now, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down at all.
I would say almost the opposite. I feel like it's smoothed out a lot of his style. He's become a much smarter competitor, and he knows how to play the game a lot better.
He speaks perfect English these days, so you can really get into his head. Back in the day, you couldn't really chat to him so much. He's such a super nice guy as well.
Yeah, and I think his appearance, sort of his persona that was built, was a lot based on
his nickname. His nickname during this event has been Hitman 2. So if there's a stunt role for that next movie, I think he's got the part.
Oh, wow. Look at that cat into Raiden, popping off into a giant. Lachey onto the bar.
Just so much power.
Really clean cast back. He's got such good form. Let's see what he hits here. Lay on a double.
In a very tight space as well.
Yeah. Very, very nice run from Eric.
Exactly the type of run you'd expect from Eric.
A little bit low landing on that flyaway double, but he's one of those athletes who you've seen hit doubles everywhere. He's just always having to find a way to make such a hard move even harder.
First of all, what do you call that?
I created this trick like 5 years ago, maybe a bit less, but I never cool my tricks. It's just doesn't matter.
You're inventing too many of them, I can imagine. That was such a great way to start, and not just a great way to start, but finishing off down here on this bar with such a high-risk move.
For me, it's not that risky. Sorry, guys.
Let's see your hands right now. A little bit of blood. So much commitment, but didn't seem to hold you back. Just a crazy, crazy run, Eric. Good job. Guys, make some noise for Eric.
As Anna briefed on earlier, you know, with this wooden course, it is a bit more forgiving for the athletes like Eric who can throw the monster moves. I'm not saying that it's soft, but compared to a course like Santorini where it's pure cement, I think it's really cool. It brings out the absolute best in these athletes.
Yeah, I heard that once they found out Eric was coming to qualify, they actually spent an extra session reinforcing some of the walls and drops because they know he hits it so hard every time.
He came through to my brand new bounce venue and broke a bar within 5 minutes.
What an absolute monster.
And this, the man, the kid of the moment, last year came second in the youth division and has now made it through to the finals of the adult competition.
He had such an amazing qualifying run. He killed it in the semis. I just want to know how much more can he have left for this finals, because this kid is absolutely throwing down, easily keeping up with these veterans on the course. He's definitely earned this spot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to throw down here.
I feel like he is running off pure hype right now. He's the homegrown hero. That crowd went absolutely wild when they announced that he'd made it through the final.
Oh yeah, they've got to be giving him so much energy right now. His whole family's out there, all of his friends that he trains with here in Sweden, and all the people he's met all around the world over the last year traveling to compete.
All 3 of his runs that I've seen so far, he's not slipped up a single step so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, depending on the type of athlete, that can build a lot of confidence, or it can make you feel like you're bound to slip up. It can add to the nerves, or hopefully for Kevin, it just inspires him to push it even harder.
Does look like he's got a second run planned as well.
Yeah, starting down at the very bottom of the course, getting all the run up he can.
Very mysterious start to this run.
Yeah.
The tension is definitely building this arena.
Yeah, but I love anytime you see an athlete start somewhere that nobody else has, because it shows that they're already going to hit something different than what we've seen before.
Something that the judges definitely reward as well.
Oh, very clean Kong front into that step fall out with a little twist. Nice tumbling pass up that middle section. Make his way onto those bars. Clean flyway full. Nice walk cart. Throwing a little bit of schemes to the audience, asking for that love. But nice, I like that he's not stopping so much to do it. He's, you know, sort of using those moments to get himself prepped. Yeah, just showing that he's got that move consistently on lock. All right. I'm wondering if he's going to go for this Randy again. Wow. Wow. So he added some new elements into his run, but he also hit those two moves that he did before, and I think it can hurt you, but it's also a way to show that you've got them on lock. And for a new competitor like this, I think it's a really, really great way to show that his consistency.
What's amazing is he obviously had that plan for the second run, so he kind of was expecting that there was a possibility. As you said, he did add those couple of extra moves. And what that really did was open him up to the entire course. He went back up to the top of the course, something that takes so much energy. Literally traversed from top to bottom. Bottom to top.
So we'll see if the judges, they shouldn't technically grade him down at all for hitting the same moves again. I know that it's always more surprising to see other stuff, but he did add some new elements to it, some really cool movements. And like you said, he's
throwing up that gang sign that him and Voltari throw for. That's 2.5 twists.
Yes, 2.5. The Randy Club.
The Randy Club.
Och träna där allt är möjligt. Så Kevin, hur känns det?
Det känns nice.
Kevin, det känns som du har ett bra supportergäng. Har du det? Har du folk som hejar mycket på dig och är där för dig?
Ja, men det tycker jag. Vi har ju alla de här människorna, eller hur?
Stort tack Kevin. Lycka till. Vi får vänta på din poäng. Mina vänner, Kevin Forsén!
I mean, looking back at that run, do you think he has a chance to win this event?
Absolutely. I mean, DK had a solid run, and I do think it's going to be very close. Technically, very different runs.
Oh, yeah, such different styles.
But there is also the hype of the venue, the showmanship. That was, you know, it's going to be hard to top.
Yeah, well, a man who certainly knows how to get to the podium, Colette Ski, coming through, making it past several injuries to make it through into the finals here, once again at the Air Wipp Challenge. Let's see what he's got. He seems to be making his way in the middle of the course, or maybe he's just taking his time, getting himself psyched up. So much hype in this building right now. The arena is literally on fire.
I see what you did there.
Yes. So while he's planning out the run, make sure you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think of the event so far, who you think is going to end up in that coveted podium spot. And again, please give some love to Air Wipp. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. They're going to have the links to the videos. The awesome 360 video we shot with Samsung as prep for this video is going to be going up on the Air Wipp Facebook page. And you can always let us know what you think on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook by tagging @AirWipp or hashtag #AirWippChallenge. So be checking that out. But here comes Colette Ski, representing Poland. 540 dive roll, cast back onto that tight ledge, which is right next to that massive drop that you can't see off the side. Scoot double full. Nice. Some of those signature bar moves.
Creative on those bars. Little throwback to some calisthenic movements there.
Yeah. Wow. So super fast run. I don't know, in my opinion, it felt pretty short. What do you think, Sean?
Did look like it maybe didn't plan for going through to the second run. It was a little bit of variety there, but unfortunately, when it comes to this level of competition, you really have to bring out for that second round.
Yeah, but I do love how he put it all together. You know, with what he chose to do, he packed in a ton, showing a lot of control, a lot of difficulty, and doing some bar moves that we're definitely not going to see from anyone else.
I think the lack of using the whole course is what's going to harm him in that second run.
Yeah.
Really only used, I would say, about 1/3 of that course just there.
Yeah, but he might be thinking about the injuries that he had leading up to this and wanting to play it safe because it was very clean. But here's what he has to say.
And it worked.
Well, the gamble paid off. Make some noise for Christian.
Only 2 athletes remaining.
Wow.
And
I feel like this has just been such a constant state of awe that this competition has just blazed by.
And we have 2 super athletes coming up as well.
Oh.
1 veteran of the competitions and 1 newcomer.
Yes,
both equally as amazing in their own right.
In 2 totally different ways, but I have to say Alexander Titorenko is one of the most exciting athletes in the sport right now. He is just bringing so much energy to this competitive scene, and he wants it so bad, and he's got what it takes.
And I know that he has a second run planned, and I believe he is about to throw down some ridiculous things.
If he lands or even goes for half of the things that I've seen him planning and lands them, he can definitely win this competition without a doubt. But there's a lot of pressure on him. You know, being a first-time Art of Motion champion and coming fresh off that here to the Air Whip Challenge, you know, people come to expect a lot from you, and people don't know anything else about him other than he is a champion.
Even with all that pressure on himself, he's always so composed there.
Yeah, look how calm he is. Maybe it's some of that circus background. You know, he's done a ton of performance. A lot of times, you know, you by having to do those over and over every night, you get into a place where you know what you're going to do and you know what you're capable of, and you hit it. And it works really well for this competitive format. All right, that energy is building. The windows are shaking. 360 dive roll down onto that small box. Ooh, tries to go for that cheek gainer onto the bar and calls it. Wow. Wow. That has got to be a hugely disappointing moment for him right there. I saw him practicing that.
It's actually quite interesting, because what I saw him prepping was actually the palm flip down to the bar. It looks like the 360 dive roll didn't go quite as he planned. Maybe he might have improvised that.
Yeah, I know he had a couple options that he was working on. Maybe he felt like this one was actually the safer of the 2, and it just didn't work out right there. I mean, he managed to save it quite well. For most human beings, a slip up like that probably would have cost him an arm, a leg, or a lifetime. But he's able to come out of it clean, and maybe he just wants to walk away in one piece.
Det finns inget utrymme för några misstag. Och där kan atleter redan känna att nej, jag stannar här. Så vi är verkligen på den nivån. There's no room for any mistakes at all. But Titorenko, you have come so far. We're so proud of you. Give it a hands up for Titorenko.
Make some noise for Titorenko! That is such a hard
Still looking quite composed, but it's always hard to say with an athlete like Titorenko. If he did sustain an injury, he probably wouldn't even say anything. I'm sure he's disappointed about that. I know a lot of people really wanting to see the rest of what he had planned, but that is an insane move and something that would be nuts to see in a video where you have multiple attempts and a way to set it up. And here, he just had to go for it in the middle of a competitive run.
Somebody that I think we'll be seeing over and over again in these competitions over the next couple of years.
Yes, much like our final competitor of the evening.
No surprise here.
The American Joey Adrien has proven that his style is perfect for this competition, being able to pack a ton of high-level moves into any space, keeping that energy level high. His conditioning is super strong, and he's able to put together these moves one after another over and over with such consistency, precision, and just technical strength. He is the man to beat here without a doubt.
Very smart competitor. Will definitely have a second run planned. And, you know, in the warm-ups, just looks so confident. Such a nice guy, but just such an incredible beast.
Yeah, you know, I think he's somebody who I remember like a few years ago before he really started competing heavily on the international scene. I met him at NAPC, and we'd been friends for a little bit, and I really just try to convince him to come out to Art of Motion because I
mean,
saw
yeah,
so much
he's
potential.
been around a lot longer than he's been competing, right?
Yeah, and I think for a long time he just didn't think it was for him. But since he started doing it and he recognized how much of a community is around it, how close-knit the people get, and how much fun it actually can be and really push you as an athlete, he's really started to take to it. And obviously, competition loves Joey Adrien as much as he loves competing. So I think we have a lot to look forward to here, but that is also a lot of pressure on this veteran athlete. But if anyone can stand up to it, it's this guy right here.
Defending his title from last year.
Yep, so far very clean. That cool line down the waterfall, very nice. Excuse me. Very clean double fly from Joey. Wall gainer.
Wall gainer full.
Oh, wall gainer full. God, so nice hitting those inwards. He's using those movements. It's just great transitions.
Where does he get this energy from? Oh, there was a little bit of a slip up at the end there, which is very interesting.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Joey. Man.
He knows that's going to be the small thing that's going to make the big difference for this run. With the performances that we saw from DK and Kevin, that's going to push him down the list, I think.
Yeah, see that. The hard thing is stuff like that. Perfect double A twist coming through into this stellar double flyaway and just stomping it out. It just makes it so much more apparent when he doesn't stick something, even when those low landings become more obvious on stuff like really hard moves like that, wall gainer full. But pretty much everything in the run really clean from Joey, except for this last little slip up here on the 720 back. But you can see still Joey able to pull it around.
So thank everybody here.
Joey, you did such a great job. Let's make some noise for Adrien.
How many tricks do you think he did in that run?
Maybe
He's someone
2,000
that
to
really
3,000.
knows how to stack tricks into a run.
Yeah, I mean, he just manages to stuff so much into each run. I mean, he's a powerhouse in the tiniest little frame, and he's able to just generate so much energy. I feel like he's got, I don't know, like Red Bull pumping through his veins because that guy just never runs out of energy.
There has to be some sort of cool drinking game that can be created around how many tricks he does in a run.
Well, if you guys can figure out something, comment below, and the Joey Adrien drinking game will be set up for next year, or maybe we can kick it off at the after party. But let us know who you guys think is going to be in our podium spot. The judges are going to be deliberating right now. This is a super, super tough call, but you guys tell us what you think. Comment below in the live chat and let us know who you think is going to come out as this year's 2017 Art of Motion champion.
A very big understatement. Yesterday, today, all these athletes putting their blood, sweat, and tears into this course. Such an honor to witness.
Definitely. I mean, yesterday we had a women competition as well, which, oh, do I have any women in here?
A few.
A few, amazing. So we have the winner here in front of me.
I see that.
Elise Bickley.
Elise Bickley, ladies and gentlemen.
Give it a round of applause.
She's only 13 years old from the United Kingdom, but she came out here to show us what she got. And it is so much. Philip, are you okay?
Amazing. We're standing in the same height now. You nervous?
Pardon?
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
It's okay. I was nervous in your age as well. Okay, so Ellis, you're from where?
I'm from Sheffield in the United Kingdom.
And how old are you?
13 years old.
And so yesterday it was quite a big competition. Like, how was the travel? Were you nervous to getting here, looking at the athletes and everything?
Yeah, it was quite like crazy, you know, like getting here. But we managed, you know, like a plane and train and yeah. And then, yeah, I was quite nervous because like I'd go against loads of, you know, professional like athletes. So yeah, still I'm nervous, but.
Elise, just take a moment. Yeah, give her a round of applause, yeah. She is absolutely astounding. Elise, I just want you to take a moment to look up there and just let all those athletes know that next year you're coming for them.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. So, yeah, did you manage to make some new friends that you haven't met before?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. Yeah, met all the female athletes.
Yeah, and they're not from England, right?
No, none of the others are from England, from like all over the world.
Yeah, I will say this in Swedish. Jag kom in här och så satt det 2 stycken och så tittade bara, hejsan, hej, hur är läget? Och så bara, nej, English. And I say, okay, hello, where are you from? Well, we're quite tired. So, okay, been traveling along? Yeah, we've been traveling from Brazil. And then the next one was from Japan. And then the next one was from Australia. And I was like, travel all the way from the world for this competition. And why?
Well, it's just like a crazy experience. It's really a really good competition. It's, yeah, it's the biggest one I've ever done. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Alec Pickley. Stor varm applåd!
So great to hear from Elise. She is such an inspirational athlete. I had a great opportunity to talk to her during the break. You know, she's in this amazing position where all these people that inspired her to start this sport, she's now competing right up against them and beating some of them.
Definitely has a big career ahead of her, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's great to see she's getting so much support from the community and her family, and now our youth champion.
Ungdomstävlingen. Var du nervös inför ungdomstävlingen?
Ja, det kan man säga.
Varför det?
För att ja, det var ganska hårt motstånd och jag skulle göra ett trick som jag var väldigt nervös för.
Hade du några skador?
Ja.
Var då någonstans?
I höften och ljumsken.
Gjorde det dig rädd och att du kände att hur kommer detta gå inför tävlingen?
Ja, ungefär.
Men du lyckades ändå kvala in dig till finalen. Hur gjorde du då? Hur tänkte du?
Nej, det var väl bara planera ihop ett finalrun ganska så snabbt och sen köra bara.
Det är bara att köra? Alltså KBK?
Japp.
Exakt, det är så vi säger Skåne. Stor varm applåd till Valle Sparman.
It's one of our finalists from the youth division. Just a mean mug of a photo right there. But yeah, this kid was such a great competitor. Absolutely threw down. All the kids in the youth division were so inspirational. And now you can see Marcus, our creativity judge, and one of the founders of Wipp and the Wipp Challenge up there, delivering some of the results and champagne bottles, the most important part of the prize-giving ceremony.
When in Sweden, they love the champagne.
Oh, yes. And we love their commitment to a really solid after party.
Absolutely. I mean, what a hard job for the judges right now. I mean, who do you feel like? What are your thoughts on the top 3 right now?
Well, I definitely have to say DK had one of the strongest runs. I like that he mixed those high-level moves and some of those really creative elements. I think Joey Adrien was really good, but of course he had that slip-up right at the end, which is always tough. But one of my favorites, I think you know it, it's got to be Kevin.
Yeah.
Just such a surprise coming out here and doing so great.
If I was to call my top 3, I'm going to go for DK, Kevin, and it's a hard one between Eric and Joey. I do feel like DK has taken the win. And I feel like Kevin might have gotten the second place.
Yeah, it's always hard, though, because we don't always see exactly what the judges see. So for athletes who have maybe a lower landing or a little slip up, if they don't catch that, if they can play it off well, it is a bit of a performance. And so, maybe something like that last move, they might not have seen how Joey landed it. They might have felt like it was cleaner than the angle we saw. That's why it's so important for these athletes to have a strong presence as they move throughout the run. But yeah, I think really, if any of these athletes ended up in that podium spot, I would not be surprised, except for maybe Tito Renko.
Exactly. Unfortunately, there
But if you could get through on effort points, he definitely went for it, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think, like we said, he's got a long career ahead of him, and we expect to see him a lot more in these competitions.
Choose 1 of 6?
No.
No? That's good to know. That's what I would have done.
So we're about to announce the winners of the event, but if you guys missed any of this, you can always rewind this here and watch it here on the live stream, and the link is going to stay posted on the Air Wipp Facebook page, but it's always going to be available to you. But we're going to turn it back over to our hosts as they announce the final champion of the 2017 Air Wipp Challenge.
Vi har suttit ner, vi är på parkour-tävling. Nu står det för vem kommer vinna? The Air Wipp Challenge 2017, powered by Samsung Gear.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hold in my hands the top 3 athletes of this year's Air Wipp Challenge 2017, powered by Samsung Gear. Very tight. But I'm going to start with 3rd place. With 488 points, Mr. Eric Mukhamedchen. A huge, huge run from Mr. Eric Mukhamedchen. In 2nd place, with 503 points, Joey Adrien. And finally, with 504 points, DK, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's 2017 Air Wipp Challenge champion!
All right, and there you have it. Your 2017 Air Wipp Challenge winner, DK. Wow, and Sean, we were just talking, as they were naming it, we still couldn't figure out who it was going to be. Is it going to be Kevin on the podium? Is it going to be Joey? Who's it going to be? It was just absolute insanity. These was such a close competition.
Yeah, I mean, DK back on top. I mean, I mean, he did come in with an injury. This is quite an incredible feat for him to come out on top.
Yeah, and look how close those scores are. Just 1 point separating DK from Joey Adrien. And then Eric stepping down a little bit, but look how close Christian Colette Ski was to breaking into that top three.
And then really Kevin only 10 points behind the big boys as well.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that as exciting as his runs were, we've got a lot more to see from young athletes, Kevin and Alexander Tito.
Only 33 points. 33 points dividing the top four.
A well-deserved win for DK, though. Absolutely throwing down on this course, dominating this event once again. It is great to see these athletes coming back, building that experience, getting better year after year. And a living legend in his own right, bringing that superstar skills from Greece all the way to Sweden. So awesome to see him.
Eric's had a good showing as well.
Yeah, one of the best competitions I've ever seen Eric throw down in.
I think he's really been working on that flow in between his runs as well, which is definitely shown today.
I'm going to try to see if I can pull DK for an interview right now. It might be kind of tricky, but I'm going to go for it. Sean, why don't you handle these people at home, see what they think about those finals.
Good job.
So just to recap for you guys, we have got the top 3 for this year's Air Wipp Challenge here in Helsingborg. We've got DK on top, Joey Adrien second, and Eric third. Pretty amazing performance. I mean, for me to see Kevin going this well at this age, it's absolutely incredible. Probably the biggest disappointment of the day would be Alex. I think he came in expecting a lot from the competition. A lot of people expected a lot from him, but he will definitely be back. Frosty has run off to see if he can grab an interview with our winner DK for you. So if you want to stick around for a few more moments, we'll see if we can hook that up.
All right, and there you have it. Another amazing edition of the Air Wipp Challenge here in Helsingborg, Sweden. One of my favorite events every year, and the man who makes it all possible, the 7th prettiest man in Sweden, Marcus Zirken Gustafsson. Thank you so much for another amazing event. How do you feel like this year went?
Pretty amazing, to be honest. Yeah, it's probably our best event, and I'm super stoked that everyone came out. Amazing crowd, amazing people, amazing Kevin Franzen from Sweden. Yes.
You know, every year you're pushing this sport. You're trying to make it bigger and better. How do does it feel to see something like Kevin come through, and he came up through this whole event because of a lot of the work you built, and this community absolutely showing up for this event and throwing it? How does that feel?
I mean, to be honest, it's like, it's kind of moody. Like you see a little kid, he's like 12 years old, going into the gym, practicing every day. He's just the annoying little kid. All of a sudden, he's on top of the stage, like doing the best performance he's ever done. And now, yeah, just having everyone, sharing on, it's pretty amazing.
So, I mean, this event gets better and better every year. What do you think you could possibly do to make it bigger next year?
Honestly, I don't know. It's I think just to spread the awareness of the event and making it more legit every time we do it. We try to make it look better, having a better feeling for the crowd and stuff like that for the athletes, you know.
So you've been doing a ton of amazing stuff. You've been out here in LA working with us, doing some really, really cool stuff, and we've been so excited to see a lot of the content you're putting out, a lot of that work. Anything we can look forward from Marcus himself?
Well, I mean, I'm flying to Iceland on Friday and then back to LA. I have a couple of good collaborations coming up, so it's going to be pretty cool. See if we can gather some cool content from that, for sure.
All right. Well, I think that without a doubt you've put together not only one of the best events, the best training facilities, but one of the best communities. What do you think it is about the Sweden and Helsingborg and this place that it has allowed it to grow in this way?
I just think we have a lot of combined goals, I think. I mean, all of us are here just together. We're helping out. Everyone's here helping creating something big. And in the end, it turns out to be great.
Well, in addition to putting together this amazing event and starting this, you're a seasoned competitor yourself. You're one of the most podium athletes in the entire sport. What could you recommend to this next generation of athletes, all those people out there at home, if they want to find themselves here on the Air Wipp Challenge stage someday?
I think just the most important thing is to be safe in your training, do stuff that you haven't seen before, try to come up with new moves, try to be creative, and just make a name for yourself. I guess going to all of the international events and being around the sport, that's how you grow as a person, and maybe then they will end up here.
Yeah, well, you've done a great job of bringing together some of the best talent in the world. Every year, I am so impressed with how that level of skill continues to improve. It gets higher and higher. And, you know, Sean and I were talking in the booth. It was so hard to even figure out who those top three were going to be between all the athletes around it. And, I mean, your qualifying event alone could have been a main competition. It was absolutely off the hook. Any chance that we're going to be seeing another location, perhaps? Maybe a series of Air Wipp challenges?
I would love to see a series of Air Wipp Challenge, for sure. That's one of my main goals and have been for a long time. I want to create more events. I want to create more amazing opportunities for people to shine. That was what I was missing when I was young. I wanted to do it. I wanted to go out and travel and make it a living, basically. And that's what we're creating today.
Well, awesome. Well, obviously, it can't be done without the support of everybody watching at home. If they want to do something to help support what you guys are doing, what can they do right now?
Tune in to the live streams, try to share what we're doing, hashtag Air Wipp Challenge, Samsung Gear, whoever is the partner, you know, like try to support us as much as possible. Just like share the word. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you heard it from the man himself, Marcus Zirkin Gustafsson. I think he's going to be grabbing our champion DK right now. Thanks so much, Marcus. Amazing event as always. And it's only because of the amazing team of people that Marcus and Philip and Air Wipp have here that they've been able to put together such an incredible event. The support of Samsung and the city of Helsingborg to make this all possible. We're so grateful for that opportunity because it brings out some of the best athletes in the world, like I said. For instance, this year's champion, DK. DK, come on in here. My man. Congratulations. You absolutely killed it. First and foremost, I got to ask, I know you got some injury to your wrist as you were preparing for this event. A lot of people asking if you're okay. How's your wrist feeling?
Well, first of all, I didn't get injured during the event. I got injured by doing something not hard or something, just in the playground, you know. So I was even thinking of not competing this Saturday. And now this happens. You know, I don't know if you can figure it out from my face, but since I won, I was like, no way. I literally thought Christian Kovalevsky would win because of the moves he did and the difficulty that it takes to make these moves on the course while competing. So I don't know, I'm so excited. I believe I still cannot realize it. I'm so stoked to be here, and I'm so happy to be with all these athletes competing here.
Well, I'm glad that you decided.
And my wrist is almost fine now.
And we got around to it at the end. Well, I'm so glad you chose to compete. We talked a lot in the booth about how your experience as a competitor definitely came to shine. You made a lot of strong choices. One of my favorite moments was actually when you went up to do your first bar move in the semifinals, didn't hit it how you wanted, and then were able to actually incorporate into your run coming around to hit it again. What's it like to be in the midst of competition and have to rework your whole run?
First of all, I was inspired by Jeff Greedo in order to do that because he did the same with his massive move to the on the wall, using the wall. So I was like, much respect for that because I know how hard it is to be able to if you fall while you're doing your run, fall or don't succeed your move, and being able to run and do it again in a line and not just go and do it. You mean after I did the wall gainer, I rolled and I went straight to the bar to do the move again. So I was so happy I did it because, of course, it's not such a hard move. I cannot do the bar tricks that these amazing athletes can do. So I just wanted to hit it because I recently learned it, and I was like, okay, I mean, not the backflip, but the way you do this move. I recently learned it, so I was like, yeah, I need to do it. I did it because otherwise I wouldn't be happy in the end. When I see my run, I want to be happy by seeing my run. Even if I don't make finals, even if I don't win or podium or anything, I really need to be happy about my run. Otherwise, it's not okay for me. I was happy about my second run, if you ask me. So I was glad I succeeded in everything, but I still didn't expect to podium. Like, Eric killed it, Adrien killed it, everybody killed it. I'm sad that Alexander Titarenko stopped his run right after because I asked him and he's super fine, if you guys want to know. He's okay. So basically, that's it.
Well, you're obviously hugely inspirational. So many people on the live feed were just commenting how much they love you, how much inspiration you are to them. If you have any words to anybody, not just back at home, but around the world that you could say to them now, please let them know.
So guys, thank you so much for supporting me in this, and thank you so much for following the whole situation. One thing I have to say to you is, please come here, go to the qualifiers, and make it to the finals. Or, yeah, you know, be here, because you can do it. And it's not about training hard, it's about having fun and doing the best you can with your moves, with your style. Be original and keep killing it. Keep it real, like Pasha says.
Yes, well, wise words both from Pasha and from you, man. Thank you so much. Congratulations on another amazing, well-deserved win for you, DK. I think they're calling your name at the autograph booth, so go make some kids real happy and sign their T-shirts.
Thank you, Frosty, representing Team Tempest from LA and Red Bull all the way. Και ένα γεια σε όλη την Ελλάδα που είδε αυτό το event. That was for Greece.
Awesome. Always representing Greece and all your sponsors, and a lot of love for this whole community. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As DK said, I'm at Frosty Fresh. My man Sean Wood back in the booth. We've been holding it down for you. So blessed to be in this position, to be calling the shots for all of you guys watching at home. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thanks so much to all the sponsors, to Samsung that made this whole event possible, the city of Helsingborg that supports this every year, and of course to Wipp, because without them, we wouldn't be standing here in this amazing place today. Thank you guys so much. That's a wrap for us here. Tune in next year for the Wipp Challenge. We out.